turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula and chemistry. Your memories spark to motivate and make the industry shake. We put the balls in the place. I'm talking one chance at best, yes. Painting pictures for the culture, keep the brushes fresh. Flip the cover with the drummer, passion never rest. Freedom is our teacher under pressure, now we blessed. See how it's go, goes with the go.
Hey everyone, it's Comic Artist Pro Secrets. Good evening to you all. It's about 2 a.m, so I guess I should say good morning. Good morning, Comicsgate. Good morning to all of you. I am Ethan Van Sciver, 27-year veteran of the comic book industry, world's most charming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man. A great big Star Wars fan, trusted member of the media, as I try to call you up here. I mean, I'm on my iPad, so I can actually see your comments while I look at other things on the screen. This is important. We've got a very nice, delicate balance here. We've got a setup that we've become accustomed to, and it usually works out pretty well. Why is it not working out tonight? Oh, I see why. I didn't turn on my Wi-Fi here. Oh, Wi-Fi's on. Are we okay? Are we good? 2 a.m. is really tricky. Sometimes we have Wi-Fi problems. But that doesn't appear to be the case right now. This is just simple negligence on my part. Hi everyone. Welcome. It's good to see you. I apologize for the lack of a video today. I was very, very busy today. I settled in and I wrote Heartsick Horror. I wrote it Marvel style for EJ Morgis so he could get started on it. Now EJ initially was writing, or he was drawing something called Cyberfrog Numb. And that's because the initial idea was that, Cyberfrog was going to be disconnected. He's disconnected from Chelsin, and, he feels numb and he takes it out on the world around him. And that just isn't going to work right now. That's not the story that I want to tell. EJ Moore just drew 5 pages of it. I'm going to see if I can repurpose those so that we can still print them because they're beautiful. They're paid for. I own them, so I can do whatever I want with them. And instead, I settled down and I just wrote the story of Heather Swain's life from 2004 to 2018, where we are, where we pick up with Wreck Planet, because there's that 20-year gap, and so let me get a big chunk of that out there. Let's talk about, how she met, Harold and how Lily came to be and all that stuff. And let's just do it in 10 pages. So I sat down and wrote that. That was kind of heart-wrenching. It was kind of, you'll see why. I mean, it's writing for me is one thing. Writing for someone else is a whole different story. But I figured, what I would do is I would just write it Marvel style, which means tell the story. Just, say, this is what you should draw. Draw this however you want to draw it. I'm not going to break it down by panel. You do that. And then once I see it, I will go ahead and I will lay the script over it. But this is going to answer a lot of questions. Some people have been saying to me, what the early Cyberfrog stuff in the 90s with Deathfly, like how does that tie into today? And that gets answered in this. So you'll hopefully it'll be good. EJ Morgis is one of the best artists that I've seen in Comicsgate. He is in the world. Let's not even narrow it down to Comicsgate. EJ Morgis is a great artist no matter where you find him. And I look forward to seeing a completed, finished story by him. I think it's going to be really great. Wow. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for showing up here tonight at 2 a.m. I appreciate that. The great Renzine says, I was about to go to bed, but now I got to stay up. This must be important. Hail. Camel Moon says, Hail Salad ends before the end of the hour. Get in there before the standees are gone. Camel Moon, for the entire 60 days is over, huh? Well, congratulations. I saw that you had done very, very well. Good for you. Cameron Thomas says, I'm tired. What do you want? Cake? A sandwich? That's usually the answer around here. I was on the internet today, of course. I spent a little time looking around. This is crazy. Did you know the earliest footage of a human being is from the 1700s. There is film of somebody who was born, who lived in the 1700s. There's actual footage of it. And it's pretty mind-blowing. It was, this is a person who was born in like 1794 and ended up in one of the earliest pieces of film. And then somebody actually took it, cleaned it up. I didn't know that you could do this, and colorized it so that you can really actually look at what a person looks like who was born in the 1700s. They're not exactly attractive, but here we go. I mean, this is the original footage there. And yeah, you fix it. Where did that technology come from? Then you clean it up a little more, cleaning and deflickering, FPS boosting and upscaling. I think Sheila Alien uses this technology, and then colorized. So this is this is really, really cool. I don't know what she's doing. What is she doing there? It's gotta be, I feel like she's what? I guess she's spinning yarn or something like that. I don't really know, but anyway, I found this pretty fascinating today. I thought that was cool. I wanted to share that with you. Okay, so this video is about Comicsgate. I don't want to, I don't want to keep you guys. I know you guys have places to be. I know some of you, want to go to sleep and stuff like that. I was thinking about recording this, and then I went, no, I think I'd rather just talk to everyone about it. I had a kind of interesting day. I'm, winding down the idea of Comicsgate really being sort of activist. Like, it's something that we need to kind of do every single day, because it seems like the competition is dying. It seems like we won. And I talked to Zach about it, and he's just like, yeah, like, the comic book industry is dead. I mean, it's just dead. And it's dead for a lot of reasons. But I mean, one of the reasons is definitely because of SJWs. They killed it. I mean, they just absolutely destroyed the comic book industry. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say or do about it. But something kind of cool happened today. It's almost like this war is coming to a close, and people are we're kind of cleaning up the mess. We're kind of cleaning up the mess that's left behind. This is not to get too political, but let's just be honest for a second here. I'm a political person. My politics are what they are. But the politics of Comicsgate are simply no politics in comics. That takes an activist to enforce that. In order to feel like what's best for business is to not use the comic book industry as a platform to espouse a particular ideal or set of politics. To not radicalize comics and then say that they've been radical all along. All of this stuff, to work on creating an entertaining product just for fans, for customers to buy, so that the industry becomes self-sustaining. These radicals don't care about that. These leftist radicals and activists, we're seeing them in the streets. I mean, essentially Antifa. And we're seeing this now too. I mean, it's like when I say Antifa invaded the comic book industry. You can go around and look at all your favorite comic book professionals from the mainstream, and all of their Twitter accounts have Antifa, have Black Lives Matter, have all of these radical groups associated right in their title, right, so that you can see it. I am this person, they're saying. I am a member of the radical left. My agenda is right here, fully on display. Why wouldn't it be on display in the work that I produce? It's more important. My agenda is more important, they're telling you. It's more important than making a living. It's more important than honoring the characters that I am being privileged to borrow and tell stories about. My agenda is everything. And it's always been here. They lied to you. They tell you it's been here from the start. And if you didn't notice it, that's because you weren't looking. Certainly this one Superman story from 1942 proves that. And here's another case from the late 1980s of another comic book, which proves that, leftist activism has always been the blood in the veins of the comic book industry. And of course, you reject that. You go, I've been reading comics for a long time. And yes, I read those too. And I did notice that, there might have been a leftist bend here, but there was a right-wing bend over here. Like, this is the Punisher, used to be about, used to have a kind of no crime. It's like government rehabilitation is not working on these criminals, and there must be something. There have been politics from either side of the aisle, sometimes extreme. In comics forever, it was never just one voice before, and then it was also never just one group of people who were using their platforms in comics, who were using the sparse, the celebrity, the tiny celebrity that they gained to abuse the customers. Well, I got to say, I was pretty happy about this. Again, not to get political, but the president did something fantastic today. And one of his appointees put out this document, this memorandum here, which has pleased me to no end. I will read it to you since I can't really get it to blow up right now. Memorandum for the heads of executive departments and agencies. This is from Russell Vogt, I think it's pronounced. That's a good suggestion for you. Subject: training in the federal government. It has come to the president's attention that the executive branch agencies have spent millions of taxpayer dollars to date training, in quotes, government workers to believe training government workers. Training, in quote, again, that's important. I didn't notice that before, but training. It almost means brainwashing government workers to believe divisive anti-American propaganda. For example, according to press reports, employees across the executive branch have been required to attend trainings where they are told that virtually all white people, and that's some of you, contribute to racism. So virtually all. Who are the people who aren't contributing to racism? I guess there are a few in elite places who are not contributing to racism, or where they are required to say they benefit from racism. It's time for us to reprogram you. Your tax dollars are going to government agencies that are retraining each other and themselves with this leftist claptrap that, all white people contribute to racism and that you benefit from this racism. According to press reports, in some cases, these training have further claimed that there is racism embedded in the belief that America is the land of opportunity, or the belief that the most qualified person should receive the job. Now, is this starting to sound familiar to you? The most qualified person should receive a job. Does that sound like your boy Zach from 2017 or what? That was a lot of what Zach used to say. He used to say, early Comicsgate videos, they would say, look, comic jobs are being given as appeasement awards to purse puppies. They're being given to people who are fraudulent, who are not capable of producing comic books that are worth reading. These people have no audience. Their ideas have no audience. Unqualified people are being given jobs in comics based on the color of their skin or their sexual identity, or any other reason other than qualifications, And the end result is that these comic books are sitting on shelves and rotting. Nobody's buying them. There is racism embedded in the belief that America is the land of opportunity. So if you believe in America, if you believe in this country, that is racist. That's racist. If you believe that comics were good, they were just fine before, same thing. I love comics. Comics are great. Well, that's racist. All of this stuff, this is all connected. These types of trainings, in quotes, not only run counter to the fundamental beliefs for which our nation has stood since its inception, but they also engender division and resentment within the federal workforce. If you're being told that you are racist, or that your everything that you do supports racism, or that you benefit from racism, surprise, surprise, it's going to make you resentful. Nobody wants to be told that. Nobody wants to be told that they benefit from something evil. Most people don't think that they are racist. Most people are happy to think that they are not racist, and they work on it every single day. Everybody's a little bit tribal, but everybody goes, racism is evil. We, for the most part, we all kind of believe as society that racism is not a good thing. We should not be judging people based on the color of their skin, and yet, that's an important factor in why people are getting jobs in the comic book industry right now. Color of their skin. They're trying to overcorrect something, I guess. or is it something more sinister? I really don't know. But this is Trump's President Trump's point of view. He says, we can be proud that as an employer, the federal government has employees of all races, ethnicities, and religions. We can be proud that Americans from all over the country seek to join our workforce and dedicate themselves to public service. We might as well be talking about Comicsgate here. We can be proud that as a movement, as a group, as a club, as a secret society and a cult, Comicsgate has fans, customers, and creators of all races, ethnicities, and religions. We are proud of that. We're proud that people from all over the country, all manner of people, seek to join Comicsgate and dedicate themselves to making comics better. And when I say making comics better, I simply mean making them freer, making them open and welcome to everyone, making them saleable, making them profitable, making the comic book industry prosperous. And anyone can do it. You're allowed to do it, no matter your level of skill. These are indie comics. We're making this free to people. This is not Marvel or DC. This is not the big two. This is not the higher upper echelon of comics. This is just indie comics where everybody should be allowed. Everybody should be allowed to do this. And, people are happy that there's very little gatekeeping and that anybody can do comics, and those comics sell based on their merit. We are not looking to, keep anybody out. Everybody can take a shot at this. All right. We can be proud of our continued efforts to welcome all individuals who serve their fellow Americans as federal employees. I mean, all of this is it's so Comicsgate. We are proud. We're proud of all of us, everyone, all of the creators, all of the people who are working in comics, and that goes for the mainstream too, because those people are Comicsgate. If you've refocused yourself towards serving your customers, towards realizing that affluence is not a given, prosperity is not a given. You do need to seek to serve your customers, to serve their interests, to create something that they want if you want to succeed. And that's the exchange they're looking for. They're looking for a fun comic book. They're looking for a nice thank you very much from you. They're not looking to be lectured and scolded that, they're contributing to racism or benefiting from racism or any of that. That's not what they want from comics. However, we cannot accept that our employees receiving training that seeks to undercut our core values as Americans and drive division within our workforce. And this is great. He says, the president has directed me to ensure that federal agencies cease and desist from using taxpayer dollars to fund these divisive, un-American propaganda training sessions. Accordingly, to that end, the Office of Management and Budget will shortly issue more detailed guidance on implementing the president's directive. In the meantime, all agencies are directed to begin to identify all contracts or other agency spending related to any training on critical race theory, white privilege, or any other training or propaganda effort that teaches or suggests either one, that the United States is inherently racist or an evil country, or two, that any race or ethnicity is inherently racist or evil. This is also reasonable. This is magnificent. This is absolutely wonderful. In addition, all agencies should begin to identify all available avenues within the law to cancel any such contracts. Cancel these people. Fire SJWs. Fire them. And divert federal dollars away from these un-American propaganda training sessions and put them somewhere else. Put that money where it belongs. This is great news. I saw this morning, and I was, I was uplifted. I was very excited about this. Let me take a look at what you guys are saying. Theorist Fox says, Ethan looks a little bit wet. I just got out of the shower. Sorry, I came down here. I went to sleep. I woke up. I came down here, jumped in the shower, threw on some clothes, and decided I better talk to you guys. That's what I do. I gotta make sure that I talk to you guys. Yeah, Tyler Davis is mad. He says, get on topic. This is why I don't watch your videos anymore. Tyler, this is the topic. We're about to talk about it. We're going to go into it. So here's the thing. What does that mean? That is someone declaring victory and deciding that, look, this is not a good thing. This experiment didn't work. This sojourn into far leftism in the government is not working. It's not profitable. It's evil. They're saying it's wrong. It creates division, resentment. We're seeing the same thing happen in comics, and the comic book industry is collapsing under its weight. I mean, today I saw a couple of stories. One of them here was pretty interesting. Hey, look, Hercules and Marvel Boy are gay in Guardians of the Galaxy. Marvel still is going to be pushing this. Marvel is definitely going to be like, hey, it's all about representation. So here's what we have now. We've got Marvel Boy, who is, a twink here. To use gay terminology, Marvel Boy is an effeminate twink. His boyfriend, of course, is Hercules, who is a man's man. Marvel Boy is a twink. He is a little weenie, and he is gay. He is not a sexual threat to women, right? So Marvel Boy, that's Marvel Boy, is not a sexual threat to women. Captain Marvel, on the other hand, is a sexual threat to women. Captain Marvel is strident, has way too much power. She's overpowered. She seems to be a Mary Sue. She's perfect in every single way. And look at that. We've just established what Marvel thinks of, or what Marvel aspires for the two genders right here. This is what Marvel wants. Marvel wants, and I've pointed this out before when we look at images of Marvel superhero teams. They've already established that, like, the females are going to be the alphas in the team. If this is what you want, then that's cool. These comics are for you. I put it to you that most guys, this is not what they want. And most readers in comics, this is not what they're looking for. Most readers in comics are men, who are not looking for this. So who is looking for this? Who is the audience for this? Marvel Comics confirms both Hercules and Marvel Boy are bisexual in the latest issue of its Guardians of the Galaxy comic. The issue features a down-and-out depressed Richard Rider Nova. Good depression. We need that. We need some more mental illness in our comics. This is another thing that SJWs are asking for. They want to see themselves in comics. They do not want to be told. SJWs do not want to be told that they have to do anything to actually physically or mentally or do anything like that improve their station. They don't want to be given aspirational heroes. They just want to look at themselves. They want to see that the heroes are just like them. They don't want to see that here are some heroes and maybe you should be like these heroes. They want to see that the heroes that we've already established are amazing people are just like them. Have the same weaknesses, the same foibles, same mental illnesses, depression. Richard Rider Nova undergoes a psychotherapy session. Marvel Comics, everyone. Marvel Comics. Psychotherapy session in regards to the guilt he feels about the death of Star-Lord, as well as recent events in his life. Majority of the issue features flashback scenes, with one scene revealing that Hercules and Marvel Boy hooked up in the midst of a battle, which was really cringy. More on that. So this is it's comic book news. So of course they don't think this is very cool. So a front row seat, like I said, an all action epic with a little soap opera thrown in. Oh, look, Hercules saves Marvel Boy from a blast. And then of course that's what you do in the middle of a war when you're, this close to being killed. You immediately start to make out with a, big hulking man. My goodness. Yeah, it turns out they're a thing, or they are now. Anyway, it happens. Heat of the battle and all. Look at this. Look at this face right here. So this is this is Marvel Comics today, guys. This is where Marvel Comics is. I mean, they have gotten into the comic book industry, social justice warriors, and they're making comics for themselves. That nobody else wants. Nobody wants this. I don't think anybody really wants this. Marvel Comics at its strongest, kind of tiptoed around, I don't know, explicitly sexual things. Even Reed and Sue, their love life wasn't really that explicit. They were America's first couple. They were treated like the Dick Van Dyke Show. They did it. They had to. They boned. Of course they did. But yeah, there was more focus. There was more focus on the actual amazing cosmic stuff that went on the action. All right, so somebody reviewed it here, and they said, yeah, why it comes off as cringy is because it's forced onto the reader and isn't organic. And in terms of what's going on, it doesn't make much sense. So, right, you're pushing someone out of the way. Can you imagine like World War I? Like, put this in real terms. It's like World War I soldiers. And, somebody saves a buddy and a bullet whizzes by their heads. And, I saved your life. And then you're on top of each other making out. It's a little weird. So this is still a thing. This is still happening. It's still a situation. It's, Comicsgate. SJWs are not leaving. They are going to settle in and they're going to, ride all over whatever is left of the comic book industry. And then there's a replacement industry coming. I mean, understand comics like that are not going to last very long. We're going to be seeing more YA novels. We're going to be seeing more stuff like that. On the other hand, the victory is pretty complete at this point. Most people are realizing that you can't just run up on Comicsgate anymore. We ain't those crackers, as they say. We ain't those crackers anymore. You can't just run up on us and give us hell. Somebody pointed out that Tom King Tom King did a YouTube video and he was being interviewed. This was a couple of weeks ago, I guess. And he talked about the situation that he found himself in when he tried to run up on these crackers. And what he did was, I don't know if you remember this, he found out he's writing a comic book. Like who cares? Who knows what he's writing? I'm not going to even get it. He's writing a comic book, and he found out that DC Comics had given work in terms of a variant cover, gave the job to Jay Lee. Tom King decided he was going to take issue with this. Tom King decided that he was going to come out and he was going to try to cancel the great Jay Lee. And he did it on social media. He came out and said, "Did you know?" And who knew Tom King had feelings like this? What a weirdo. Fuck you, Tom King. Seriously, fuck you. You're mad because somebody did a cover for me. Jay Lee did a Cyberfrog cover for me. You can see it right over there. It's, it's a poster on the wall. It's beautiful. He did a cover for me, did two covers for me. And apparently that means that his life is forfeit. According to social justice warriors, people who are working really, really hard, who were working really hard to take the comic book industry and change it into what I described, change it into a mechanism to espouse their own leftist bullshit, Jay Lee's life was over. He was no longer allowed to work among the big boys. And by the way, Jay Lee's been here for like 40 fucking years. Who are you? You just came out of nowhere. I'm sorry. Jay Lee gets to continue to work and he can do whatever he wants to do. So Tom King tried to cancel Jay Lee, and it was a real turning point. It was a real watershed moment because Jay Lee pushed back. Jay Lee said, "How dare you?" And Jay Lee used a little emotional manipulation, which was wonderful. Good for you, Jay. He said, "I was burying my dog when you idiots came after me and tried to take my moment with my wife away from us, our family. We're burying our dog, our beloved dog. Fuck you." And that's a good thing to do. Pets, pets actually, people, like you could say, I honestly think it's like with the comic book industry, you could say, "I was burying my child." And it would not have the same impact on these people as if you said, "I'm burying my dog." Everybody understands that. These people don't have kids, but they all have dogs and cats. So people turned on Tom King. Tom King responds, looking back about a month after he did that. So this is like a month after he did that. They're interviewing Tom King on YouTube. This is what he says about that.
And Batman trying to save him. It's a very Tom King-ish.
A nice Sunday read. A nice, talk to the parents.
Sunday read, yeah.
Speaking of the fans, Jace wanted to know if you're coming back on social media, interact with folk. I know you're busy writing Rorschach and doing.
Well, he left social media. This is Tom King right here, of course, if you haven't figured that out. He left social media, and now the fans are saying, "Hey," or at least one fan is saying, "Are you coming back? You coming back to social media to interact with fans?" And he turns his head away in a little bit of shame. And listen to how he talks about what he did. Now, this is basically I would say this was attempted murder. And you might think, Well, that's an exaggeration, Ethan. It's an exaggeration to think that what Tom King did was attempted murder. Zach and I started talking about what they were doing to Warren Ellis, and we called that attempted murder amongst each other. It kind of is. You've got a bunch of comic book people work in this frivolous, stupid industry. We're producing comic books. It couldn't be less important. When Zach says comics matter, I don't think that they do. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I think in the wider scope of things, comics don't matter at all. This is just a fun, frivolous industry where people get to tell stories. It's nice. Some people get better at it. Entertaining people is important. But if they didn't get their entertainment, I hear from people all the time who go, I was in a dark place, and Cyberfrog, I read Cyberfrog, I watch your show. It means a lot to me, and it pulls me out of depression. That's cool. But I mean, if I wasn't around, somebody else would be filling that void. They discovered something else. Comics just are not that important. And yet, they're important enough that a bunch of harpies on the internet would try to drive Warren Ellis to suicide. You took away, this man had an identity. This man had a career. This man put all of his time and energy, his lifeblood, the cumulative, experience that he's gained, the skill and talent into doing something and having an identity in comics. And these bitches take it away from him. Why? And you don't think organizing to publicly shame someone on that degree is attempted murder? You don't think that's going to drive someone to suicide? You don't think so? Because I don't know what the point is beyond that. I don't know what exactly, when is the talk about Warren Ellis and his sex life going to end? And here's Tom King. Tom King tried to do the exact same thing to Jay Lee. Now, what if Jay Lee, his entire life is all about making comics, drawing comic book art? Tom King blithely tried to strip him of that, tried to publicly shame him and drive him out of the industry that he had made his home for more than 30 years. Probably not 40 years, but more than 30 years. That is enough to make someone consider killing themselves, especially somebody who is already a little bit, I don't know what Jay Lee, I think Jay Lee's got his both feet on the ground, but a lot of people in comics, including this gentleman here, do not have both of their feet on the ground. They're a little bit unstable. At what point is somebody going to take their own life because of cancel culture? At what point is somebody going to do that? And then what is that? What does cancel culture become? I put it to you, becomes murder. At that point, it becomes murder. These people know what they're doing. They're, deliberately trying to destroy people's lives. For what? For what reason? So Tom King comes out and he tells Jay Lee, he tells the world Jay Lee is canceled because he drew a Cyberfrog cover. And I don't consider this cover that he did for my book to be the real cover at all. And fuck Jay Lee. With his gigantic audience, hoping to gain traction, hoping against hope what? And Tom tells you a little bit about it here. I want you to notice like how he brushes aside what he tried to do. This was attempted murder. You tried to drive Jay Lee to despair. Here's how he describes that.
All the things.
I have no idea. I debated. So what happened was I did this kerfluffle thing.
Kerfluffle
thing, boy. But anyways.
So he did this kerfluffle thing. He did a kerfluffle thing. That kerfluffle thing. That kerfluffle thing was trying to destroy the life and career of a beloved comic book creator. I did this kerfluffle thing. I did this kerfluffle and, Jam Ajna Soars in the chat says, what kind of girly voice is that? That is the girly voice that you put on when you are a man who does not want to take responsibility for what he's done, doesn't want to fully confront what he's done, because little girls aren't accountable for things like this. Little girls aren't accountable for the things that they do. So when you talk about how you deliberately tried to destroy someone's life and livelihood, and it didn't work so well, and it didn't work so well for Tom. It was basically a turnaround where people said, hold on a second. You're telling me that cancel culture could actually cost us somebody like Jay Lee? Oh, hold on. No, Tom. We would trade Tom, one Jay Lee is worth 20 of you. So we're not going to trade you for Jay Lee. We're not going to do that. We're not going to trade Jay Lee for you, I should say. So your voice gets high. You squeak a little bit. When you talk about the kerfluffle, you did. I did a kerfluffle. No, you tried to kill someone. Essentially, that's what you did. You tried to end someone's life. Take away their dreams. Why? Okay, let's find out why.
And I decided to take a break from social media just for a few days because it was driving me crazy. And in those few days, my oldest son, who's 11 years old, obviously you're trapped in your house with your kids, said, Daddy, I've noticed you've been talking to me more. like out of an after school special. Oh, man, I feel like it was like the more you know, like
a violin starts playing. You're like,
yeah, it was like he had like a British Oliver accent. It couldn't have been more like heartbreaking. I noticed you've been looking up from your phone. And it literally broke my little heart because I'm one. I don't know what you call that, like doom scrolling. One of those people, like I scroll through Twitter just looking for the thing that's going to make me angry, so I can kind of get through it.
Fantastic. So instead of playing with your kids, and by the way, I don't think you're much different, except you actually have kids. I think most of these SJWs don't have children. They're incapable of caring for other people. Instead of caring for your kids, you're on the phone looking for things to make you angry. Let's find out why that is.
I've been doing that for 10 years, and so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to make this break a little longer from social media just so I can, almost just because my son said that one little comment, it really broke my heart. And yeah, I'll see. I should get back on it. So I feel bad because I'm not promoting things. I really should tell people to buy my shit, and it's good for the stores, and it's good for like this event. I should tell people to support it for charity and stuff.
Yeah, that's what social media is for. I'm on social media every single day selling Cyberfrog. Every day. Every morning I say, good morning, Comicsgate. Let's make this a great day. And then every morning I tell you guys, I show you guys a preview of something. I try to stay engaged with you. I'm trying to maintain my fans and my customer base. I'm asking you, if you haven't bought Cyberfrog yet, please buy Cyberfrog. I'm showing the links where you can go get it. That's what social media is meant to be for. Unfortunately, it can't be that way because of people like Tom King. And Tom King is not alone. Here we go.
So I feel guilty about that. So yeah, so I'll be back someday, but for now I'm off.
Those are all the twist moments.
If you're watching this and you're a creator and you're trying to communicate with me on social media, I'm not on there. So if you have my phone number, text me or send me an email. And if you don't have that, you know my friends, and they'll give it to you. I see sometimes people like Tom, you haven't been. I was like, I can't talk to you. I'm not on this. I'm an addict. If I go on just for a second to be like, hey, I need to DM somebody, I'll be like, what did Trump do? Holy crap! Oh my god! It's like I have to sort of quiet that down.
Yeah, there's no putting that down, especially now. Like we keep bringing up 2020, but it's just such a time of like not moderation. There's nothing but extremes, including social media.
And that's entirely your fault. That's entirely your fault. There's nothing but extremes because when one side goes to the extreme, the other side, I guess, has to protect itself. And why? Why is Tom doing this? Why? And let's just use Tom as a test case. It's not just Tom. Tom's not the only one. Tom is actually talking. Tom probably got a little bit of a lecture that said, get off of social media because you're not good at this. We've got people who can do this much better than you. And you went after Jay Lee, you dummy. It's like you're supposed to go after the comic skaters. You're supposed to recognize the difference. You're not supposed to go after Jay Lee. So why does he do this? We'll find out. Why is he on social media calling you bigot? Why are people like Tom on social media calling you Nazi? What is that about? Let's find out.
Media.
No, social, especially Twitter, is for anger. And look, I love being angry. It's such a high. But
there it is. That's it. Right there. So why does he do this? Why do these people do this? Social media to them is for anger. SJWs love being angry. It's a high. When they call you Nazis, when they call you bigot, when they tell you not to buy their comics, these mentally ill weirdos feel good. They feel good about what they're doing. They feel good about it. Feel good about themselves. In the meantime, you've got a child in the background. You could just scoop that kid up. You know, what makes me happy is Ava. Ava makes me laugh. Whenever I'm feeling like, I need to take a break. I need to go be with my family. I need Andrea. I need Ava. And I need them every single day. I try to spend time with them every single day, despite everything that I've got. Because Ava's smile, Ava's laugh, Ava watching the same Sesame Street shit over and over again makes me laugh. And it makes me happy. Keeps me young. See these portions of my beard that have color in them? That's because of Ava. The rest of this is because of these motherfuckers. But this, and I don't like it, this is because of Ava. It's because of Andrea. So these people, it's all been about making themselves feel good. You understand? It's all of this, all along, has been about making themselves feel good. But what you're seeing is at least Tom King in full retreat. Tom King has been told to get off of social media, and this guy's actually finding something that might be healthy again, which is the communication of his son with his son. I recommend that he stay off of social media. I recommend that he do. And I recommend that more people do. Zach is right when he says, look, Twitter to Zach was about fighting. Zach was on Twitter. They came after him. They made a goal. They all felt good about themselves by coming after Zach every single day. Let me see if I can get under Richard C. Myers' skin. He's out there criticizing comics. He's rightly criticizing the phenomenon that the president of the United States pointed out exists within the federal government, paid for with your tax dollars. Zach is sitting there pointing out that the same thing is happening in mainstream comics, paid for with Disney's money, paid for with I guess AT&T now. Before it was Warner Brothers, just Warner Brothers alone, paid for with their money. They are, they're funding these attempts to call you bigot, call you Nazi, to change comics, to drive you away, to try to change the world. Why? And the election's coming up. People say, why is this happening? It's all politics. If you can change the culture, if you can make the most important thing in the world, the idea that Marvel Boy and Hercules make out in the middle of a battle, you can say, hey, we need to support this, and this is the only issue, this is the main issue, and this guy, the Republicans want to take this away from you. They want to make it so that you can't love who you love. The election's coming up. Politics is downstream from culture. Whatever we can make everyone believe and value, the values that we create in culture, in movies, in comics, in video games, that's what happens at the polls. That's what happens at the polls. That's power. And that's what it's all about. It's all about power. So you've got these people doing the bidding of, this cabal, and you're seeing people being marshaled into action right now. You're seeing all of this stuff happen. You're seeing riots. You're seeing warfare. This is all so that people can have power. This is all about power, an effort for power. Now, I put it to you, and I've said this. The title of the stream is the Breitweisers and the SJW's last stand against Comicsgate. Okay, so everything that I just said to you now leads up to this. I was very sad today because somebody sent me an article and I didn't understand it. And it was an article from, I think, the Arkansas Times that came out last week. I don't think the Breitweisers are talking about this much. But this article, somebody had highlighted a section and said, what do you think of this? And, the person in question said, I now feel completely and fully betrayed by the Breitweisers. And I was going to make a video and I just went to bed instead. I said, I quit. I can't take anymore. I can't take any more of not knowing. It's like, I can't take any more of disloyalty. I can't take any more. I feel like the industry is full of rats. Some of them are scurrying around Comicsgate itself. I don't understand anymore. I don't know why I don't know why this is happening, why this phenomenon is happening. I just said, I'm not going to do a video. I'm just, again, where do you go? You go, instead of running to social media to cause pain and havoc and hurt, trying to destroy someone's life like Jay Lee, you go be with your family. Just take a break. So this is what the article was. This is it. Arkansas Times, Mitch and Elizabeth Breitweiser launch Allegiance Arts. All right. So I take this, at face value at first. Don't worry, I did a little investigation about this as well. This is the story of Mitch and Elizabeth. And you remember Mitch and Elizabeth, they used to come on Comic Artist Pro Secrets a lot. Mitch was doing a book called Red Rooster. This look on his face right here is because Mitch has not delivered Red Rooster yet. And he's a little bit, look, I mean, he raised $200,000 from the Comicsgate audience in order to make the money he needed to get Red Rooster done. At the very start of this, there were a few of us who were feeling our way around and trying to figure out how to survive cancellation from the comic book industry. All right, so let me just I'm trying to figure out how to break into this a little bit. Look at this great Kelsey Shannon artwork. God damn, he's good. Kelsey Shannon's amazing. All right, so this is the story. The Breitweisers were able to get a nice deal, a nice distribution deal at Walmart. All right, so here we go. I guess this is where it starts. This is where it starts to become relevant to Comicsgate. Okay. Meanwhile, one subplot remains a bit more ticklish. The Breitweisers worry some people in the comics world, because of their friendliness with comics creators who have fostered a toxic subculture within comics, in a shrinking industry where most creators publicly cheer new ventures, some of their peers are so wary of the cultural fight, they decline to comment for this story. The Breitweisers are adamant that they're building an inclusive, non-political platform. That's right. That's the Comicsgate. And they don't support those who would pick on others in the comics community. That's correct. To examine that tension requires the sneakily heavy question of who comics are for. Allegiance Arts is decidedly widening that audience, but the whole picture is more complicated. So we scroll down from here. I mean, obviously, this guy is talking about Comicsgate here, and suddenly you realize that this very nice article, this publicity article that was written for the Breitweisers here, written by a fellow named Sam Eifling for the Arkansas Times. Let's just take a look at Sam Eifling, shall we? And let's find out if there might be an agenda behind this piece. Oh, you don't say. New Republic, look at him. All right, we scroll down here real quick, and we quickly see that almost everything on his page is anti-Trump, Trump, fuck Trump, this, that, fuck Trump. So here we go. They're doing a bit, right? Is this a bit? It's going to be a bit. Lord help me if these guys are doing a bit and I take them seriously for a nanosecond. This is the guy writing the article about the Breitweisers. What do you think his purpose is with this article? What do you think this is? Okay, we scroll down. Let's get to again more flattering stuff. This is what they're doing. Here's the story. So here's the condensed version of how a rift came between. I'm not going to even do a soy voice for this. I'm not. I'm just going to I'm going to read this normally. So here's the condensed version of how a rift came between these stories and so many of the writers, artists, and readers who would otherwise be cheering their success. Right in here is blackmail. Right in here is blackmail. In November 2016, Mitch Breitweiser sent what in another era might be considered a benign tweet, complete with illustration of the U.S. president-elect standing with a sword and a halo, evoking a medieval knight with a message, "Congratulations, President-elect real Donald Trump. I wish you the very best in your effort to make America great again for all Americans." The original tweet exists only in screenshots. Mitch has since deleted his account. Mitch isn't even on Twitter anymore. Yeah. You could read it as ironic, or you could read it as flat. Why would you read that as ironic, you soy boy? Why would you read that? He was 100% sincere about that. Look at him volunteering. Look at him volunteering to walk this back on behalf of the Breitweisers. This is a big deal. I'm going to tell you why. We're going to go through all this. You're going to understand why they're doing this. You could read this as ironic, or you could read it as flattering. But either way, he rolled that into a Twitter sphere, still sore from election night, which destroys me. There's still the idea that you could have done this at any other time. I don't think so. I honestly, looking back, I don't think you could have said in 2004, congratulations, George W. Bush. Let's make America great again for all Americans. I don't think that would have worked either. I don't think that would have worked. It would have worked in 2008 and 2012. And it did. Nobody, there was plenty of stuff like that. But it doesn't work in 2016 for some reason. I was talking to Andrea about this today, explaining to her why 2016 was so important and why 2020 is even more important, just in terms of the prize. When you win an election, there's a prize that comes with it, And 2016 was very important. You can guess what happened next. And here's the quote. Here's the article from Bleeding Cool. Captain America artist wonders why he is losing friends over his patriotism. Now, that's a Rich Johnson written quote. Patriotism is meant to be mocking. And the article was basically, it existed. It was sarcastic. It existed to bring the Breitweisers even more trouble. It existed to say, hey, in case you didn't know, Mitch Breitweiser and Elizabeth Breitweiser are Republicans, and they voted for Trump, and they're supporting Trump. So, hey, everyone, just in case you didn't know that. Now, of course, without the context, without the understanding of who Rich Johnson is in Bleeding Cool, and how Rich Johnson uses his platform to hurt other people, which is what he does, with plausible deniability. He wrote an article about me called "No, Ethan Van Sciver is not a Nazi." It's like, what? Why is that an article? Captain America artist wonders why he's losing friends over his patriotism. Mitch's tweet activated two factions. Some people lobbed at them the sort of insults they'd like to send to the president, which is what, these people do to me every single day. I get treated like a little microcosm of President Trump. I know exactly what it must be like to be him on a smaller scale. But people take out the fact that they disappointed their fathers on me, which is something that I'm a little bit used to it now. I've become accustomed to it, but it's fucking weird and it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable that this should happen. Obviously, it is. All right, and then people inclined to support the president stood up for him. Acrimony simmered. Then the following summer, some in the more conservative faction tagged harassing tweets aimed at feminists and trans people and young women in the industry with hashtag Comicsgate. Liar. Liar. You liar. Some fans, and this is such bullshit. Hey, everyone, we're Comicsgate. Let's go ahead and tag feminists and trans people and young women. Let's go tag them with harassing tweets with the hashtag Comicsgate. That is not what happened. That is a goddamn lie. And it's a repeated lie. It doesn't make sense. What it does is dehumanize and make irrational what were rational complaints from fans towards Marxists and socialists and far left-wing radical activists who'd invaded the comic book industry and were ruining the hobby that was enjoyed by 100,000 people. Those complaints were valid. It was not harassing, it was not abuse, it was criticism, but it was heated. Because if there's something that you enjoy and have enjoyed your entire life, or if there's something that has supported you, understand it's not just the customers. I mean, people say it's a consumer movement. Comicsgate's a consumer movement. It's a consumer and creator movement. I devoted my life to this business, and so did Mitch Breitweiser. I devoted my life towards learning this craft so that I could make a living in it. And for the same reasons that the comics were being ruined for customers and for fans, it was extremely difficult for people who voted for the president in 2016. That was it. That was it. People took out their political grief on us and made us unemployable. Some of us fought back. Fans and creators lumped the Breitweisers in with the faction that was hurling abuses at people. Okay, we weren't hurling abuses at people. We had abuses hurled at us. How can you say the faction that was hurling abuses at people when you just made it clear in your prior paragraph that Mitch posting a drawing of President Donald Trump made him effectively unhireable in the comic book industry? How can you put that blame on us? How can you make Comicsgate the problem in this scenario? Why would people put the Breitweisers in the faction that is Comicsgate? Oh, gee, I don't know. Why would they do that? Why would the Breitweisers be considered Comicsgate? Does anybody know? Is there anybody in the crowd who could raise their hand and maybe offer an idea about why some would lump the Breitweisers in with Comicsgate? Was it because they were on my live stream, like Comicsgate Live, every single night fundraising? It's not a choice to be Comicsgate for most people. I think now it is. 2020, everything's changed. In 2020, everything has changed, and you've got people going, no, I'm Comicsgate. Why is that happening? Why do we have Kenneth Rocafort? Why do we have Shane Davis? Why do we have Bill Willingham's coming over, by the way, writer of Fables? He's coming over. Why do we have Dan Fraga? Why do we have these guys who volunteer, who just go, no, I am Comicsgate? Why is this happening? Well, because we took a really bad situation and we made it better. We built something from it. Rocks were thrown at us. Big stones were thrown at us. We caught the stones and we built a castle out of them. That is why. That is why people are now declaring that they are Comicsgate. In 2017, 2016, 17, and 18, it wasn't a choice. You just were Comicsgate. You were a target. You were seen as a violent, racist oppressor. Why? Well, because everyone felt bad. Everyone felt bad, and they used social media the way Tom King just said that he used social media to make himself feel better. Tom King says, I use social media to make myself feel better. It's a high. I get a high from being angry. So Tom King canceling, being a part of, and people who are like Tom King, being a part of the force that made it so that in 2018, the Breitweisers canceled a scheduled appearance at a comic convention over what they said were safety concerns. Is that Comicsgate doing that? Is it Comicsgate that was threatening the Breitweisers? Was it Comicsgate that threatened to blow me up, to cut my hands off, to assault me at a comic book signing appearance in Florida? I've still got these Looney Tunes. I got people saying, I'm coming at you at a convention. I'm gonna blow your face off your skull. I'm coming to your house. I'm gonna kill you. I get this all day long. I got people fantasizing about the streets running red with the blood of EVS. It's insane. This is fucking insane. And this is us somehow. This is Comicsgate. We're responsible for this. Look at this. Like any other internet movement marked by harassment, and we have been marked by harassment, but not in the way that you mean. Comicsgate thrives on vagueness. It does. One of its proponents, a comic artist named Ethan Van Sciver, thank you so much for mentioning me in this article, Soy Boy, describes it on a YouTube channel called Comic Artist Pro Secrets, get it right, in 2018 as, quote, a community for dispossessed right-wing and moderate comic book professionals who can no longer get work in this blacklisting, disgusting, politically oppressed industry. as it's become. That's still pretty much it's close. It's part of it. I talk about what Comicsgate is every single day. It's impossible to say that I'm vague about it. I explain what Comicsgate is. I explain the reasons for it, and I explain what I think Comicsgate, what our goals should be going forward, what my goals are. Comicsgate, though, at its heart, is the rebellion that necessarily happened because of a situation created by radical activists who made it so that, among other things, the Breitweisers had to cancel a scheduled appearance at a comic convention over what they said were safety concerns. Comicsgate exists. It is a rebellion that had to happen because people like Tom King wanted to destroy the career of Jay Lee because he chose to do a comic book cover for somebody who he didn't like. And Tom King needed a rush of endorphins that day. That's what Comicsgate is. It has to happen. We have to exist. And thank God that we did. Thank God that we did this. One of its proponents, comic artist, this is me. Okay, that's what I'm saying. He says, a rational person would prefer to steer clear of its blast zone. Yes, I agree with you. Everyone would prefer that. Nobody has a choice. Nobody had a choice in 2017 or 18. I spent at least 6 months trying to steer clear of Comicsgate, and it became clear that, nope, you're being chosen by Comicsgate. It wasn't my choice to be Comicsgate. It wasn't my choice to be a part of this. It was going to happen. This is just the way it was. This is the result. I got messages from Whisper Network saying we've neutralized Ethan Van Sciver. After they got rid of me, we've neutralized him. What kind of language is that? What do you mean you neutralized me? Ethan Van Sciver has been neutralized. I was a political threat. I was a political threat. That's all this is. That's 100% what this is. He goes, irrational people trying to understand comics in 2020 instead might open dozens of browser tabs, watch hours of YouTube, reach out to comics creators who reply by saying they don't want their names in a story that touches on Comicsgate. As a for instance, from one writer, I would rather not furnish a quote because Comicsgate people just destroy people's lives, and I wouldn't go near them with a barge pole. And we just spent the beginning of this thing explaining and showing and proving that it's not Comicsgate people who just destroy people's lives. It seems to be the mainstream comic book industry, which has been infected with this rage virus of cuckoo mental illness, where people destroy each other's lives for fun because it feels good. Tom King just explained that to you. Thank you, Tom King, for being honest in your mental illness. Appreciate it. Most people wouldn't have put it like that. Most people would have disguised, why they do what they do under some kind of language of, I do it because it's justice. You were honest. You do it because you're mentally ill and it feels good to hurt people. And then we go here. But a deep dive turns up little to impugn the Breitweisers. The perception that they're aligned with Comicsgate seems to rest largely on their being polite to creators other people find abhorrent. So it's me. I guess I'm abhorrent. I guess, the Breitweisers. And the reason why you might think the Breitweisers are Comicsgate is because they're nice to me. You're abhorrent, EVS. You're abhorrent. I see. Thank you, Soy Boy. Appreciate that. It's not hard to see why they're trying to be diplomatic. For one, they're not publicly political, a certain tweet notwithstanding. That's what Comicsgate. We're not publicly political. Our politics are no politics. We try to keep our politics to ourselves. We don't want to put away customers. We don't want customers to be put off by our comics. We want them to buy our comics. You're describing Comicsgate. For another, they've been running crowdfunding campaigns We won't get into that. And trying to draw broad support from fans and investors, and they've tried not to take sides. It's a tightrope they've been walking. Is that correct? Well, a deep dive, I would say a shallow dive, would turn up the Breitweisers being on my YouTube show every single day for a year, declaring Comicsgate, asking for my assistance, wanting to publish Cyberfrog. I guess that is being polite to an abhorrent creator. In fact, wanting 50% of Cyberfrog. Here's what this article is. When I read this, I was tempted. I was angry. And I just said, I said in a private chat room to Comicsgate, I said, I don't know why I help anyone. These same people who I go out of my way for turn around and call me abhorrent while refusing to associate with me anymore after they've gotten what they wanted from me. I should stop doing that. I should stop helping people and let people stand on their own 2 feet. Because I don't know how much more abuse I can personally take. I've got broad shoulders, but I'm an asthmatic. I don't know how much more kicking around I'm supposed to deal with. I guess a lot. I mean, to be fair, Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet just hit another $80,000 in funding, $1,080,741. We're at 9,751 backers. All right, I'll take more beatings. That's look, if it wasn't, I'm being rewarded for it by a very loyal customer base, and I'm grateful for you guys. That's not what I think this is. After sleeping on it, I think what we're seeing is we're seeing an effort now that the battle has largely been won. We're seeing an effort by the people who were defeated to get the victors to say that they weren't part of the war. You see what I mean? If the Breitweisers are Comicsgate, they survived an incredibly evil attempt to ruin their lives. And I was with the Breitweisers when this was happening. I saw their cares. I saw that they were worried. I saw fear. I saw all of that stuff in them. I saw in them what I was going through, what me and Andrea were going through. They had different plans. They had look, we're going to go to Walmart. We're going to, we're going to try to get our books in the newsstand again. Essentially, we're going to try to go the old route. And it wasn't for me. I liked the idea, but I just didn't think it was going to be as effective as just direct the future. I'm about looking forward and finding a new path, not about looking backwards. A lot of people are like, well, let's do what worked before. I think things are changing. I think we have to find a new path going forward. And to me, that's crowdfunding and direct to consumer. That's the way it's going to be. That's the future of comics. And I saw all this in the Breitweisers. And yet, despite all of this, and you can say what you want, they have not delivered their crowdfund. I cannot explain that to you. This is not about that. This is not about whether the Breitweisers, deserve applause from you, because I gave them a lot of money too. I donated a lot to Red Rooster. I don't know where my book is. I haven't read it. I'm waiting for the book to come in. I'll be the last person who read it, and I think I probably gave the most to it. But if the Breitweisers are Comicsgate, the Breitweisers stood up to the social justice warriors, the activists who worked to harm them and all of us. And they built something called Allegiance Arts. And they took some of the best creators and some of the bravest creators who were willing to work with them and got their comic books in Walmart while the rest of the comic book industry crumbled around them. If the Breitweisers are Comicsgate, Comicsgate won. See what I mean? if the Comicsgate, if the Breitweisers are not Comicsgate, never were, and why are people thinking this? They're just nice to some abhorrent people. Then Comicsgate didn't win. At least not through them. Oh, Comicsgate won through me. You better fucking believe it. But they're going to go through and they are going to talk. They're going to flatter. You could see in that article, read it carefully. There's an offer there. We'll let you back in. That's what that article says. We'll let you back in, you know. Just denounce Comicsgate. Let this article stand on its own. Turn your backs on the people who helped you, who lifted you up, who supported you. Your fellow professionals who were Comicsgate, who stood by you in your darkest hour. Turn your back on the customers who funded you, who made it possible for you to build the platform that you now currently enjoy. And may it be a stable one. I hope it's okay. I hope it's good. Allow us to call those people abhorrent. Allow us to call Comicsgate. Allow us to frame, continue to frame the movement that protected you and sheltered you. The group of people who made you less scared while this was happening to you. And you know in your hearts who we are. Throw us under the bus. Throw them under the bus. And we're going to allow your story to be a different one. We may even welcome you back into the comic book industry. Amazing what you guys have done. You did it with us, right? You did it with the SJWs and comics. Well, look, yeah, I mean, you know, people were a little upset, but you're not political, are you? You're just being polite. You were just being polite to those people. So Comicsgate is not a choice. Mitch and Elizabeth, they're Comicsgate. And I have to explain this over and over again because, you know, look, it wasn't a choice back. Now it is. Now you can choose to be Comicsgate. It's an ethical, it's a just choice. You should choose to be Comicsgate. Now it's easy. It's easy to be Comicsgate. We decimated these people. We destroyed them. Comicsgate's great. They're all trying to be like us now. We've got Keanu Reeves using the Comicsgate model. We've got Boom Studios going, fuck, we better do what they're doing to fund our comics. We've got the SJWs on their heels. We knocked them out. And we're still strong. We're still strong. I can't wait to fund another Cyberfrog book. I cannot wait. Can't wait to fund Rainbow Brood. I'm very excited about it. Rainbow Brood is just going to be it's Comicsgate's big whoa to everything that they did. All of the ideals of the SJWs and what they did to comics, what they've done to entertainment, men's entertainment, the fact that they allowed women to take over and decide what men should be entertained by, how to raise boys. Rainbow Brood is going to be the answer to all of that. What does it look like? What does an entire generation with absentee fathers or disappointed fathers look like? What does an entire generation look like of boys who were raised by women? What are they trying to do? It's not good, by the way. They're out in the streets setting fire to shit right now. Boys need fathers. Boys need male, masculine role models. Rainbow Brood's it's gonna be the final word on all of this. It's gonna be fantastic. I cannot wait. Can't wait. So this is their last move. This is the title. The title of this video. The Breitweisers and the SJW's last stand against Comicsgate is going to be to peel each and every one of you away. What do you do? How do you defeat a movement when you couldn't win against them in any other way? You flatter or shame each individual and you defeat them. You divide and conquer. Hey, Breitweisers were successful. You're not Comicsgate, right? You're pretty. You guys, let's do a nice magazine. Let's have a fawning magazine article about you. Look at the Breitweisers. This is funny. If you're not Comicsgate, if what you did, you're not related to, and I can't find any reason to think why you would be. I've done a deep dive. I can't find any reason to think why you would be Comicsgate. So I'm letting you off. I just wrote, I'm a soy boy. I just wrote this article that's letting you off hook and crook. Here you are. This is the life. Look at Mitch's face here. Mitch's face cracks me up. Hold on, let me blow this up. This is the life that's waiting for you. Looks like the Garden of Eden. It's heaven. You've got comic books on the ground with ants crawling all over them. Why, it looks like, look at it. It's amazing. It looks like a J. Crew ad with comics in it. This is the life that's waiting for you. This looks like peace. Success. We'll take your success. Everything that you worked for in the middle of the war that we put you through. Social justice warriors put you through hell. Made Elizabeth cry. Threatened your life. But you weren't Comicsgate, were you, ever? Remember Tim Doyle? Remember Renfamous? Remember them celebrating that they felt that they destroyed you? Well, those people are back on their heels now. We beat them back. I haven't heard from them in a while. Fuck them. Doesn't matter. You're in a position now where you sold hundreds of thousands of copies of your comics. And now these same people who made Betty cry, who stressed you out, want to trade you. They'll give you peace in exchange for your victory, in exchange for your success. And it's not just going to be you guys. It's going to be every single person in Comicsgate. Every single person is going to get that offer. Because the history books haven't been written yet. But history is written by the victors. So what is Comicsgate? What was it? Was it a harassment movement in which a lot of people just sent mean tweets to trans people and women, little girls in comics? Was that what Comicsgate was? Is that how you want to be remembered? And we were there. We went through all this together. So in any case, I read this article and I needed to sleep on it, you know. My initial reaction to it was sadness, extreme sadness. And I wanted to just quit. I wanted to just give up. How many more times is this going to happen? How many more people are going to, you know, reach out hands and I'm going to help them, and that, you know, this is going to be my reward for it. I would like somebody just say thank you, you know. But I can't do that, you know. It's too stupid. I'm too dumb. I can't give up ever. Because I know what my story is going to be. I know that if somebody makes a movie about me, I know what my story is. You know. I'll never give up. Ever, 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 ever. I'm still going to keep fighting this. You know. I want to be the exorcist of this comic book industry. And I'm proud of what we've accomplished. You know, I think as a group, we've accomplished a lot. As individuals, we've accomplished even more. And it's pretty great to just see people lining up, getting ready for their next campaign. Shane Davis's Starlight Cats is going to be great. I'm going to be proud to support Shane. I'm going to be proud to support Dan Fraga's second book. When Ken Roquefort's ready to put out something, I'm going to be ready for that. I'm seeing other creators start to like my tweets. Don't do that. Don't like my tweets. You're going to get in trouble. Don't like the tweets of an abhorrent person. I guess you're just being nice. I guess you're just being friendly. Yeah. So, don't do that. But more importantly, don't give this guy your victory. Don't give this guy what you worked for. Don't let this guy tell you that what happened to you didn't really happen to you. He's one of them. Don't trade anything to this guy. He doesn't deserve it. And this is the guy who wrote the article that we just looked at. Don't give anything to him. Don't let him say what he just said. You think that it will lead to peace. It will not lead to peace. Ever. It's never going to happen. You're never going to be given peace by these people. Say F you. I fought people like you. It's like my grandfather would say to these SJWs. I fought people like you in the Second World War. He's saying that to Japanese people, though, so that's a little embarrassing. It's uncomfortable. Say it to this guy. I fought people like you during the Great Comicsgate War, 2000. 2017, 2018. Yeah. And we won. All right. Let me read some super chats. Thanks for sending them. I needed to get this off my chest. I needed to talk to you guys. It's not like it's a great thing when I do live streams. It kills my, look, whenever I do live streams, what happens is that I lose subscribers. YouTube punishes me. I don't know why they do that to me, but they do. I lost like 6 subscribers. I don't know if I lost them because people didn't like what I was saying, or it's just YouTube saying, stop doing live streams, get back to doing recorded videos. I will. I would have done this as a recorded video, but I don't know. Cold of Alta says, hail Uncle E, hail Comicsgate forever. Hey, thank you for $1.99. Tungsten XCE, thanks for $5. Says, Ethan, I'm glad you are doing this stream, and I agree with your assessment on the situation. We were there, and time will tell. Peppermint Oil Capsule says, my nan taught me loyalty above all else. Zero Depressive says, what if Leo DiCaprio plays you when they make it a movie? Well, then we'll redefine the word leotard. Leotard. He already did that in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He was already a leotard. 200 Watt Studio says, you are a good man. You are very mature. Good man. Luminous Path 13 says, thank you. Thanks for $4.99, Luminous Path. TK Knotted Post. What a great name. $20. Wow. Says, I love this channel, your content, and Cyberfrog. I can't wait to back another Cyberfrog book. Straight up leadership right here on Comic Artist Pro Secrets. You blazed the trail. Thanks. And thank you for $20. That's a very kind. Literature Devil says, thank you, Uncle E. Raging Golden Eagle, you're welcome, Literature Devil. Thanks for all you do. Raging Golden Eagle, same to you. Thanks for everything you do. I've been fighting these parasites since Gamergate. No way will I ever voluntarily side with them. I'm here to replace them, not play nice with them. Mike, me too. Me too. Mike Murphy says, not going anywhere. Comicsgate is our home thanks to our readers and the help of you and many others. Comicsgate won. Rob Nix says, the comics are not appealing to normies or kids. Anon Andrew says, goodbye horses. Goodbye horses. Literature Devil says, Comicsgate since the beginning. Comicsgate all day. Hell yeah, Lit Dev. View of Uranus says, keep your head up, Pie Man. If it wasn't for the arrows you've taken, none of us would have a chance. We have your back. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Anon Andrew says, God damn, gay pie-eating frogs. Anon Andrew says, frogs are gay. And then he says, actual intelligent DSP. Give me your money for mediocre entertainment and a mediocre comic. Thanks, Ethan. Anon Andrew again says, you have your pool. You have your mansion. What about the rest of us? Survival of the fittest? I mean, and on Andrew, I appreciate that, you're mad, but do work, create a comic book that people want to read. And then you can buy a pool. My house isn't a mansion, by the way. It's big, but it's not a mansion. I don't want you to get that idea. But no, survival of the fittest is, I think that's something. Do a comic book that people want to do, and you'll find success. Zero Depressive says, keep imagining the entire society turning on the SJWs and calling them for their hypocrisy. But society is tolerant. Don't know if it can go less tolerant to correct itself without a pandemic or a war. Wow. Things have changed. I mean, 2020 has been a pivotal year, right? Camel Moon says, thanks to everyone who backed my campaign. It's been an amazing 60 days. Keaton Smith says, hail, I backed a Cyberfrog head sketch. I saw that, Keaton. Thank you very much. 200 Watt Studio says, that voice, his kid thought he was talking to mom. I was talking about Tom King. Angry Bandling says, a stream, time to praise the sun. And Deltaverse Comics says, I love when Ethan gets gangsta Johnny's Law on Indiegogo. I love when Ethan gets gangsta Johnny's Law on Indiegogo. You want people to back Johnny's Law on Indiegogo. Ben Farrell says, wasn't Star-Lord gay X-Men Cyclops' dad? I guess. 200 Watt Studio says, Dick Ryder. Get it? Puke. Richard Ryder, Dick Ryder. Well, that's actually Cecil's character. Cecil's character is Dick Ryder. Blue Spectre says, when's the next channel member card, fat boy? I'll give you a sticker. It's going to be a while before I do the next card, but I'll be happy to do another mailing. Would you guys like a nice sticker that I could send out? Because I'm busy doing Wreck Planet right now, and I don't know if I can get. Let me make that a priority. Let's get another one out there. Slimer Snarf says, I saw Bill Willingham questioning the future of comics the other day. It'd be great if he ended up as part of CG. Well, he is. He's already talking to me in private. He showed me the concept for his book. The concept for his book is pretty cool. It's a little political, but I'm not going to tell Bill Willingham what to do. I'm excited about, anything that he wants to do, we want to support. Charlie's London says, BS, I don't need a Black Lives Matter hashtag to tell me I'm not racist. There is no better feeling in the world than seeing a child who nearly got pulled into a gang-related life go to Cambridge because he chose education over a hashtag. That's right, Charlie's London. Thank you very much for that. 200 Watt Studio says, I got no plans for hours. String them a long time, please. Okay. Gek812 says, article explaining Sana Amanat's link to the Clinton Foundation, Saudi Arabia, and DNC. The John Delarose, it looks like he wrote this article, and there's a link here. That's pretty interesting. John Delarose, I gotta say, man, I some of these guys, I wish we didn't have problems with them, because John Delarose wrote a great article about IDW, was it? IDW or somebody else? No, Valiant. He wrote a great investigative article about Valiant. I'm like, God damn it, John. Like, if you could stop being asswipe and be Comicsgate, you'd really be helpful. Fuck. Excuse my language, but it's depressing. Deltaverse Comics says, love streams to get me through the work night. Hail, Comicsgate. Charlie's London says, morning EVS on my way to work, so we'll catch all I can and give a like on the way out. God bless, Comicsgate. Sleep well, everyone. Bye, Charlie's. Great Renzine, I got that one. Says, I was about to go to bed, but I got to stay up. This must be important. Hail, and Camel Moon says, Hail Salad ends at the end of the hour. I think it probably ended by now, but go check and see if Hail Salad on Indiegogo is still up. David L says, hope you had a great birthday, Uncle Lee. I did. I had a very good birthday. It was nice, and I got a lot of birthday wishes from you guys, which I really appreciate. It's very nice. Comicsgate's a very happy community. A lot more super chats. Veru Kusaki 86 says, when are the Cyberfrog Pez dispensers coming out? I hope soon. That would be cool. I bought Ava a Pez dispenser because all the Halloween stuff is out. We were grocery shopping, and there was a little witch with like red hair. She was a cute little girl, like with red hair and a witch's hat. I said, "It's you, Ava," and she liked it. I would like to do a Pez dispenser, and it would work for Cyberfrog. Sharu says window clings are better than stickers. Okay. Jeremy Burtz. Got a nice dancing sticker. I can't read it though. Comics Exposed says, too many solo streams, E. Time to get Comicsgate in here. Please spend some time helping Antonio Bryce. I will. And Micah Curtis. I won't. Get your Comicsgate act together. Okay. Angry Vanilling. Message deleted. Okay. Angry Vanilling. Sequential Treasure says, remember, winners never whine and whiners never win. Just a kid from Brooklyn says, Comicsgate has your back. Ethan will continue to support all loyal Comicsgate creators. Granty's Nut says, headed to the P.O. Box tomorrow. You better believe it. Tuesday is the day for P.O. Box. And I will open, you know what? I'll do a video opening that stuff. I haven't done one of those in a while. And Zero Depressive says, I'm not okay with Boogaloo guys having a monopoly on Hawaiian shirts. B3 Chandler says, so is the Breitweisers betrayal going into the top 10 anime betrayal list, by the way? CWO, Comicsgate, World Order for Life. I don't think the Breitweisers betrayed me. I think they just got roped into this exploitative article until I hear otherwise. If the Breitweisers want to say, no, F you, then that's on them. But, I read that article as an exploitation of their trust. I don't think they're happy about it. And I think they got used. Cold of Alta says, hail Uncle E, hail Comicsgate forever. Thanks very much, guys. Appreciate you. Black D Dragon says you're still fat, though. Well, that's going to be the case for a little while. Definitely true. Should I let people in? Should we keep this stream going? The thing is, lately I'm doing solo streams because I do live streams when I have something to say. It's like oftentimes when you have other people in the streams, you're entertaining them. Last Crusader says no, don't do that. Okay. I was gonna ask Cecil and John Malin if they want to come in, and anyone else. But no, Last Crusader says no. Ethan is fat under his fat. Novapoid says, don't stop making the short videos. They're good and help the subs. I'll do them like every day. Down to 350 pounds, says Rezakai. Congrats. Thank you. Wait a second. I'm not even close to 350 pounds. I've never been that heavy. Give me a break. Ben Thomas says, business is concluded. Time for fun stream. All right. Let me see if they want to come in. They might not want to. They might be like, fuck you. You didn't invite us in from the start. Now you want us? Well, I hope they don't think like that. That's, definitely not, not the way that, oh, okay. Hold on a second. I got to read something. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm reading Kelsey Shannon. I'm reading your message to me, but I'm reading it quietly. Yeah, I love you too, Kelsey. Thanks, pal. God damn it, Kelsey. You're supposed to be a big beast. You're not supposed to make people want to cry. I'm putting the link in the Comicsgate stream if anybody wants to come in who's watching this. That was nice. A very nice message from Kelsey there. Very, very good. Let's see. EVS isn't fat. He's full of sunlight, just like a human sunbeam should be. Yeah. Let me see. Don't forget what got you here. Live stream, have friends on, support new guys. We support you for this kind of stuff. Yeah, all right. Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't. What am I doing this for pride? I don't know. Francis Lancer says it's a cuck message. Jabba the Coach says maybe next time, eh? Kelsey is the man. People say nice things to me sometimes that keep me going. Most of the time, people tell me to go fuck myself and call me fat, but sometimes, people say nice things. Bring in Jabba the Cuck. Jabba changed his name from Jabba the Cuck to Jabba the Coach, and I don't understand why. I like Jabba the Cuck better. I like that much better. It was better than that. Jabba the Cuck. Yeah. Ethan, where's the comic spin rack? Oh, it's here. It's yeah. I guess I have the camera turned a little bit, but it's here. You know, it's all got Cyberfrog stuff in it. I'm thinking about taking the Cyberfrog stuff out and putting old comics in there again. Just you know, that should be fun. Oh,
I was listening to all the abuse you were taking.
Hi, Cecil. Welcome. You telling people that my house is a mansion? I mean, you know,
I give directions.
You you Cecil, you live in mansions. I'm sure of that. You have lived in mansions anyway. Your sister and all that stuff.
I will live in mansions someday. Mansions in heaven.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful.
Right now, I'm in a cardboard box, though.
How you doing, Cecil? What's up, man?
I'm up. I don't know why. I've been up since early, and I actually got stuff to do. I was walking around, and I just got home a little while ago.
Walking around where? Are you like somewhere fun?
I'm just walking around Brooklyn.
At 3 a.m?
Well, yeah.
What the fuck? Getting drugs? What are you doing, dude?
No, I was sober.
Oh man.
Well, I mean, I had a couple of drinks.
Yeah. I got wasted on my birthday. You remember I pissed you off. Absolutely wasted.
Yeah, you were trying to fucking get me killed.
I'm such a hypocrite. I just talked about people like intentionally trying to get other people killed, and I came close to that myself. You know. But yeah, sorry. By the way, I wanted to apologize for that. I haven't yet. I will.
It's all right. I did the math. Everybody is dead that would try to kill me. They've already been killed.
According to that documentary, I think that's true. You know, and that was a great documentary. I got to get better mob ties. I talked to Andrea about this. I'm like, what can we do to get mob ties? She's like, why do you want mob ties? I'm like, I don't know. I just want to whack some people out.
You don't have to look for them. If you start doing well enough in Jersey, they'll find you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they found my dad. You know, I told that story before, talking about my dad, you know, growing marijuana in the basement of his law office. He was all hydroponic down there. I didn't know what it was when I was a teenager. He said, "Those are my special plants, son. Put the tarps back over them." Dad was growing drugs for the mob, you know.
Really?
Yes.
I'll never remember that story.
I told that story a couple of times, I think. Keaton Smith says, got my Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales comics. Fucking awesome. I think that's what the fire means. Hail Comicsgate with a, you know, Slayer dude. Cool. Glad to hear that. Emperor Billy Ritchie says, as Emperor of Comicsgate, Mitch is now an outlaw. Oh, stop it. I don't think that's what it is. You know, Mitch, what do you think of that? What did you know, I read the article. What did you think of it, Cecil? Did you hear it?
Yes, I think, yeah, they're trying to take away some wins, you know, hey, disavow and things will go better. And we'll see how that pans out.
I don't care if they do. I want the Breitweisers to be happy. You know, more than anything, I want the Breitweisers to be happy because I'd seen them.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the shit they went through hell, yeah.
So they can do whatever they want to do. But I just want to warn everybody else that that's what this is. You understand? What the currency that social justice warriors are offering right now, the currency that they're spending is peace. We'll leave you alone. What would you call that? I mean, in mafia terms, you know, it's like
it's an ultimatum. It's an offer they can't refuse.
It's a little bit of a protection racket, you know, and it's subtle. I mean, that article was very subtle, but it's clear that that's what's going on there, and I think we're going to see more of that. I think more people they're going to approach John Malin.
When are they going to approach me? Some mild flattery, and I'll disavow everyone.
When are they going to approach me? Can you imagine? Yeah, Ethan, we're congratulations on the Cyberfrog movie. You were never Comicsgate. You were talking to bad people, and I'll be like, yeah, Cecil. Cecil was the instigator of all of this. Cecil made me send harassing tweets to all the transgendered people I ever saw.
I knew you always looked at me like Oswald. I was going to be the fucking patsy no matter what.
100%. I'm pushing you right in front of that bus. And I can't wait to do it because, as soon and I'll be like, Cecil would send me messages. He'd be like, today, I want you to go out there and I want you to search out hashtag. No, don't do that. Look, it's easy to find trans people on the internet because all you do is just search for it. It's in their title, right? It's right in there. Everybody lets you know.
Yeah, you even kind of look like the guy in the white hat when Oswald got shot.
I got that guy's autograph. Did you know that?
What's his name?
Hold on a second. I'll be right back. You're not going to believe this, Cecil.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
Okay, hold on.
I'm fucked. I'm gonna get pegged for all this. Oh. Am I supposed to talk now? There are like a million kids on dirt bikes still riding around New York. I love it. That's why I like to walk around at night because, like, always I don't know. They seem like 15 to 25. They're all riding around on four-wheelers and dirt bikes. It's like a Mad Max thing going on around New York. That's the best part of there being no law anymore is the Mad Max dirt bike riders. I enjoy that. I like the sound of it. And the cops don't fuck with them. Yeah, I know I've told this story before. This guy's looking for an autograph. He could have just wrote something down on a piece of paper and shown it. No one knows who the fuck he is. Fake it. I notice you, Jay. New York is now one big Star Wars cantina. No, it's not. All the fucking bars are closed still. Unless you drink on the street. That's pretty good. But yeah, the bars better fucking open up or I'm out of here. I noticed you, Jay. Yeah, fake it till you make it. Exactly. Ethan, just scribble something down on a piece of paper and show it.
All right, I'm back, Cecil. Hold on one second. Let me get my headphones on so I can hear you. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I had to go find my JFK assassination section in my DVD collection. I have quite a few. In fact, I think I have every single JFK assassination DVD ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is called The Men Who Kill Kennedy. And right in the target to Ethan, James Lavelle. This is the man.
What year is he still alive?
No.
How quickly after you got that did he have a fucking piano fall on him or something?
Pretty quickly, as I recall. I call that good timing. Welcome, Shane.
Welcome. How are you doing, sir?
Good. Very good. How is Lee Harvey Oswald doing? Not so well. And don't place your fate in the hands of James Lavelle, a police officer in the 1960s. Don't do that.
Yeah, he wasn't in between Ruby and Oswald. I noticed that.
Yeah, why wouldn't he do that? Why wouldn't he jump in front of the... I guess he's not Secret Service.
Why would he try to fucking save Oswald?
Because he had to make sure that Oswald went to trial, Shane, and receive justice.
I always chuckle about that. I always remind I think back about Trump accusing Ted Cruz's dad or granddad of.
That shit was funny, and you know what? It's true. It's actually true. Ted Cruz's was it father?
Yeah.
Now Lee Harvey Oswald. I'm doing a book about Lee Harvey Oswald.
He used to go to Cuba.
Well, Lee Harvey Oswald. No, he did. It wasn't just that. It was his father was like a Cuban dissident, and Lee Harvey Oswald was out there handing out pamphlets that said "Fair play for Cuba." He's pro Castro, and he used his money. He spent $13 printing up these pamphlets. He wanted to be on the streets handing these pamphlets out. He wanted to get attention for himself. So he hired a few Cubans who just come over, from Cuba, floating around, and he hired them to hand out these pamphlets. Two of them, and one of them was He's handing out fair play for Cuba propaganda. Ted Cruz's dad, I think, or was it grandfather dad, next to Lee Harvey Oswald, which is you could say, if you were conspiracy minded, you could say that those two guys had something to do with the assassination of JFK, and that's precisely what the president did. He said those two guys probably contributed to the death of John F. Kennedy. And Cecil, that is why life that is why life is so funny right now. Every single day, I don't know how we're going to endure getting back to normal again in a post-Trump America. I'm going to hate it. I'm going to really hate it. The guy's funny.
Yeah. He's definitely made things interesting.
It's going to be so boring. Can you imagine, like, if Joe Biden won? I mean,
that will be interesting in a totally different way, though.
Yeah.
Let me pull something up.
That thing you posted today on Twitter, Cecil, where I had to watch it a couple of times, where he's like, "Can you pull that closer?" What was it he said?
I forget. He's so out of it. It's like, it's comical. It's fucking hard to believe. It's. They had 4 years of hating it, 5 years really, of hating this guy's guts and doing anything to. All right, this is what I wrote. I wrote that this fresh-faced young fella is really winning me over here. I'll share.
Okay. Yeah. In the chat, people are saying, "You think Trump is losing?" No, I think he's going to win.
I don't think Joe's going to motivate people to leave the house and vote. You know what I mean? It's just. There's no momentum there. There's no. I'm in fucking New York and I have not seen a Biden sticker or sign.
Dude, I'm in North Carolina. We went shopping the other day before you play this. Somebody's already set up selling Trump T-shirts, selling them. Not. This isn't propaganda. They're out on the corner with a tent selling Trump T-shirts. Like, they're making money off this already.
What is this right here? Biden joins virtual. Okay.
This is Joe doing like a Q&A.
To help them, give them that chance. Thank you.
Let's move it up here. There used to be a basic bargain in this country.
First of all, what happened was they had the answer already queued into the thing for him because everything's fake.
Yeah.
And he's asking him to move it up so he can read it.
Oh, and they are.
But he's that sigh of just, he's exhausted. Let him fucking go to sleep. Like, look at the exhaustion of that sigh. I've done that's an after Thanksgiving dinner. Like, oh.
Give them that chance. Thank you.
Let's move it up here. He's
gonna fucking lead the free world? Get the fuck out of here.
Well, I mean, he's not, and I mean that's the scary part. It's like he's not. If he, it wouldn't be him. It would be, God only knows who.
Yeah.
Right into the head. The Democrats, where they would just tell him what to say and do. As president, you don't have to be the leader anymore. It could just be a cabal of, I don't know, handlers and stuff. I don't know how much.
He was out of breath.
Yeah. I saw something that was really funny, and I wish I could find it now. Maybe you can, Cecil, but there was some kind of town hall meeting or some like fake town hall meeting from Joe Biden's house that went over the internet, and it was like the connection was bad. And like, so Joe was like, it looked like Joe was freezing and leaving a trail behind of himself as he walked towards the camera. Like, it was all digital. And in he's trying to talk, and the windows are open behind him, and the birds were screaming. And it was so funny. He's like, rah, rah! Joe's like digital. It was his first kind of press conference. I gotta find that footage. I pissed myself laughing. Like, the birds were going like absolutely ape
Was it on Twitter?
It was on. No, I mean, you can find it on YouTube. I'm sure. I'll find it next time. But it was the funniest shit I've ever seen. Like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, and in the meantime, it's like everything. Trump did that big performance on the White House lawn that annoyed everyone. I thought that was magnificent.
Blowing off, forget it. It was blowing off fireworks and having a whole crowd. And
Twitter Trash says, I have the clip. Twitter Trash, can you send it to me on Twitter and I'll play it? C-SPAN or something like that. Who knows? Those good times. Twitter
This
Trash.
is going to sound messed up, but what happens if he doesn't make it to the debate? Like if he kicks it before he gets there, like what do they do?
Who, Joe Biden?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if he gets it, which he's not, but if he does, he's not going to last long. But like, let's say he doesn't make it to getting elected. Like, who becomes the nominee?
Holy shit! I guess Kamala Harris does. I don't know. Has that ever happened before?
Anything can happen. It's 2020.
That's crazy. Here's Patrick Thomas Parnell. Hello, Patrick. Great to have you here.
Hunter Biden becomes.
What's going on, guys? I'm glad to see people are up.
Yeah. I got footage of Trump yelling at Hunter, and I want to play it for Hunter so bad. He's like, Hunter, I can't remember what he was saying, but he was denigrating Hunter and calling him a loser and stuff like that. I want to play that outside of Hunter's door. My son, I mean. So let me see. We got some super chats here. Start to Con DM says Biden is like the old man at the door in Poltergeist 2. That guy was spooky as fuck. Remember that? Poltergeist 2. God is in his holy temple. Earthly thoughts. I had trouble at church, I couldn't get an erection at church for like 2 months after that.
He's turning into the grandpa from Texas Chainsaw, actually.
Let me see. Yet in the piece says, LOL, please get a ton of footage. The streets, ATVs, bikes. Please get a ton of footage. The street, ATVs, bikes.
Oh, he's talking to me because when I walk around at night, like there's like a Mad Max thing going on in like Brooklyn and Queens, and there's just so many like teenagers and people riding dirt bikes and quads around the city now because the cops don't give a shit anymore, and it's kind of cool.
Yikes!
Harlem too.
Mr. Berger, thanks for $10. Says EVS, the man you're talking to right now, claiming to be quote unquote Cecil, is an imposter. Tune into the Jack Show, where I will expose the truth. Signed, Mr. Berger, aka if Cecil was a black guy. What do you think of that? Thanks for $10, Mr. Berger. But it's Mormon girls. Yeah, I agree. Mormon girls are beautiful. Wow, Cecil, what do you think of that allegation that you are an imposter?
He wants to expose the truth. He should have gave me the $10. I'll expose myself.
You've never had a problem doing that.
No.
Tweeted Trash, you got to get on the ball. Why didn't you send me the link yet? If this were the Howard Stern show, you would have blown it.
I don't think Joe Biden's going to make it to a debate. I think he's going to end up like they're going to say that he can't leave the house because of COVID or something like that. I think they're going to block him like inside his house as long as they can.
Yeah, he can't get. Well, he is going to do the debate. As far as I know, he is. They've scheduled the debate. I cannot wait. I'm really looking forward.
I'm telling you, like late September, like an early October surprise, like something weird's going to happen.
Wow. Like what? Like what do you think?
I personally think that they're gonna like fake say that he has like COVID or something like that, and he can't leave the house for like a month or so. Oh. And then he's gonna come out like victorious, like he kicked the sickness, he beat it and he won, and
Hillary dressed as him.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna do something crazy.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Sorry, Shane.
In October, he's gonna announce that he's transitioning, and then he's gonna come out as Hillary.
Just takes it like a Scooby-Doo. Just takes his mask off.
His mask off. Yeah, I don't know. Anything could happen. I'm thinking he's not going to even make it that.
They had like these kind of fake war games where it was like Podesta and Clinton and a bunch of these other like think tank people, and like Podesta is setting up a situation where it's like they never like even if Trump wins, like they don't say that he wins, like no matter what. And I think it's super dangerous. I mean, it's interesting at the same time because it's an interesting part of history, but I think we're going to see some crazy stuff that we've never seen before.
Tuda Trash says, I got suspended on Twitter for asking a CNN reporter if he was retarded, sir. Well, I mean, why did you have to ask?
Yeah, you don't have to ask that.
It's a waste of your energy. So what did you do? Did you Gmail it to me or nothing? I don't get the link now. Son of a bitch. Don't call CNN reporters retarded if it means that you can't be in service of Comicsgate anymore. You know, watch what you say. It's important. Tweeter Trash, you're an important man. I got some stuff here. They're working on Cyberfrog stuff for me. This is Salamandroid. And the action figure still in production. They're still working on it. I decided to go ahead and put the spikes down his back for the action figure. He's coming together pretty quickly here. I think he looks pretty badass. They got all the texture on his back. This is a 14-inch action figure. It's going to happen here. That's and then look at this life-size bust of Cyberfrog being sent over.
My God.
That's
what
so
are you
cool.
going to do with that?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. It's made.
Here's what we could do with it. We could make Halloween masks out of it, you know.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That's an idea. Like you could make like masks. Yeah, why wouldn't we do that? Eye holes right here, like little eye holes or something like that. And then make these kind of like cheap rubber masks. We could do anything. I mean, that's you know, that's what this is all about. We can do absolutely anything that we want to do. So the action figures are going to be expensive. I hope I can get those funded. I've got the money to do them in any case, but I hope we can get them funded.
Have you figured out a price point that you're shooting for, or like?
I don't want to go. I mean, I don't want to go very much higher. I'm just following Todd McFarlane, and the problem with following Todd McFarlane, because he did $40 a figure. He's got like, you knew he was going to make $3 million, so $40 a figure is easy for him. But I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just going to do $40 a figure. I'm going to try. I hope we can make enough money to fund the action figures and then improve on them. And I've got the prices already. I've got the prices for everything. I know how much things cost. I got the hats. I'm still waiting for the beanies. I got to get all this stuff up as soon as I can and put it
Ethan,
on.
like I would say, like even if you had to, going to 50 wouldn't be outrageous because Super 7 does like the Thundercat toys about the same size, and people gladly pay 50 for those. So I think yours would be more rare, more of a collectible thing. I think you could definitely do it for 50.
Yeah, I think I could. I just don't want to. If I could do it for 40, that's better because 40 just doesn't feel like it. I don't want my.
No, I mean 40 is the deal. Hey, listen, I'm getting two. I'm gonna paint one like red, like a special red suit.
I'm gonna do them like I'll do like a regular one and I'll do a blank one that isn't painted.
Oh yeah, people love that shit.
That way I'll be able to sell more of the figures. The situation with this, and I'm learning, is that there are minimum order quantities. So if you're going to do this, you can't just do, and you're fine. I don't know if you're finding this out. Are you? Your minimum order quantities are what do you? How many?
Well, like we're lucky. Like we're actually piggybacking with another company. So where we would normally have to have like 5,000, we're getting away with 500.
Oh, okay.
But we're doing something similar, like what Peter Cimenti does with his publishing. Like he sends a bunch of people together, and he kind of gets a discount because the machines are up and running. So that's kind of what we're doing. So like we kind of snuck away in the system. But I know what you're saying though. Like that whole startup thing is crazy expensive.
Yeah, I think I got to make about 10,000 Cyberfrog toys. And that's a lot, right? So you got to figure out a way to get people to buy more than one of them, and the way to do that is variants. I'm gonna do Cyberfrog Bee Stung, Cyberfrog, like wounded. I'll do Cyberfrog like with no paint, different paint variants,
like anime style coloring, like cell shading version.
That's a good idea. Yeah, just different color. But I mean that the thing about it is that I think $40 is good. I know what he costs to make. And honestly, I'm not trying to make a profit on these. I know that's stupid. I shouldn't be saying that. I'm not. I'm trying to make a profit on my comics. The publishing is where the money is.
Yeah.
The toys are fun, and I just want people to. I want to make the toys. So
That's the number one thing that we discovered when we're crunching the numbers. I mean, even though we're doing a small run, like we're still like a small company, but it's basically just a great way to advertise for the franchise. It's like we're gonna break even at the end of it, but it's gonna be fun as hell to make the toys.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
because there's some people that just collect toys, right? And then like you're gonna pull them into the comic. Like I know that sounds weird, but it does happen. It does happen.
I think that once a kid gets his hands on Cyberfrog, a Cyberfrog toy, you know, like with his big feet and everything, and he's silver and he looks cool. I think once a kid is actually handling a Cyberfrog toy, he's going to read the comic book, and the toys are in service to the comics. And so I would rather do this. I'd rather sell the toy for $40 and then charge $10 shipping, so that the toy is $50 with shipping included. Yeah. And then the shipping is just going to end up taking a bigger bite out of the profits of the toy that way. Because there's no way it's going to cost way more than $10 to pack and ship these things. So at the end of the day, I might make $4 or $5 per toy sold, but it doesn't matter. I just want to make the toys. And that's the plan for almost all of this merchandise. I'm going to make money on the hats because I think I can sell through them, and I can sell the hats for twice what I'm paying for them. So, because people are used to buying a hat for $20 bucks, $25 bucks. I'll make a load on those because I think everybody's going to buy them. That's kind of what it is. You find where you're going to make your profits, and then there are some places that you're just doing fan service, and
then somehow like it even out, and you kind of elevate it all. It kind of just like it's like Tetris. A little piece falls down, you fill it in, and you keep on going up.
Yeah. It's all about more than anything. It's about maintaining enthusiasm. It's like you keep offering cool product. People are excited for Wreck Planet. People are excited for Cyberfrog 3. I'm gonna do some stuff for Rainbow Brute too. I'm gonna make some product for Rainbow Brute. I'm gonna make a miniature. I'm gonna make a painted miniature. Will I make an action figure or something like that? I don't know. Maybe it could happen. It depends on how the campaign does. If we're up there, if it gets crazy and we're making Berserker money, Berserker's gonna get to 2 million. By the way,
Rainbow Brute sounds like a plushie though.
Yeah, like the whole idea behind Rainbow Brute is men invading a woman's invading a woman's space. men invading a woman's area. And do it. So I mean, you want to do girly toys, but for men, like a tactical trapper keeper. There's a knife in it. You can actually carry. That kind of a thing.
I think something like this would be good for Rainbow Brute.
What is that?
This is it's called Mystic Legion. It's made by the 4 Horsemen.
Oh yeah. I like them.
And it's kind of like his version of the Panther that Skeletor rides, but he's like kind of like as a Thundercat. But I mean, this is a good size for Rainbow Brute, 7 inches.
Oh.
People are complaining that Cecil's not active right now.
I'm here. But now I forgot what I was going to say. I had something brilliant. It's escaped me now.
Yeah, right.
Life-changing.
Something life-changing that we missed it.
Yep.
All right, let me see. I'm still trying to find that Biden link. It's not even going to worth it, when I finally get it.
I thought somebody said they were sending it to you.
I was sending it to you on Twitter. Well, where? I sent it to you on Twitter, he said. Where is it on Twitter? Or no, I mean on Facebook, he said. Where is it on Facebook? I do have a Facebook page. Oh, here it is. Okay, thank you.
That should be the motto. It should be, girls have been invading boys' areas for so long. Now it's time for boys to start invading girls' areas.
Yes. Is this even the right one? No. Okay, so you sent me the part where the birds are chirping. All right, that's fine. So the birds chirping is I immediately started laughing. All right, hold on. This is Joe Biden trying to give a speech. And by the way, the camera has settled out. Before this started, he was leaving artifacts behind him when he was walking towards the camera. And it was absolutely ridiculous. He looked like a ghost. And then he finally starts to get himself together, and he's talking, and the birds outside his window will not shut the fuck up. All right, here we go. Watch this.
Our lending system. You know, we should be designing our economic response to avoid these desperate outcomes. And they're not only desperate, they affect people in so many different ways. So the funds can actually reach people in communities and small businesses, you know, that they're supposed to be helping. We should be reversing half of what the mistakes have been gone.
I'm sorry. You have to watch the whole clip.
Oh,
it's
man.
So funny. You have the birds just screaming in the background. I don't know. I'm excited. I gotta say. Oh, you sent me both clips. Okay, hold on. I'm excited about the election. I really am. I look forward to this. Andrew's like, you can't talk about this. I'm like, I'm not going to talk about politics, but I love election season.
Did you see the one the other day where he was in the middle of like a sentence and he goes, "Oh, there's my wife."
Oh, poor guy.
What?
Oh shit. Okay, here's the other. So this is how it starts. I mean, you got to imagine like virtual rally in Tampa, Florida for Vice President Biden, and come on, guys, as he says, come on, man, you got to get this together. Here we go. Watch this.
Please welcome Vice President Biden.
It's already fucked up.
Good evening.
What are they doing? What are they doing?
Wait,
Our lending system. We should be designing our economic response to avoid these desperate outcomes. And they're not only desperate, they affect people in so many different ways.
And then the birds are screaming back there. Hold on, I gotta see this again.
Vice President Biden.
He's just sitting there.
Look at shit.
You remember those bad guy twins in the Matrix 2? It's kind of like that. It's just kind of morphing at you through the interweb, through dial-up. He's coming at you through dial-up.
I mean, it's it is what it is. COVID-19 is making this the weirdest year. I'm having a great time. I'm enjoying 2020. I'm no complaints really, but man, it's making things interesting. We're going to be looking back on 2020 as just this pivotal, weird year where a lot of crazy stuff happened. It's almost like, and again, 2020 pushed the comic book industry off the ledge. It's like almost like the hand of God, Cat Pappy. It's like let's take it. Yes.
You bring up all the time how like women invaded comics and they manipulated it, right? And this drives me crazy, but I was friends with some ladies that worked on My Little Pony. They were artists, and they would talk about bronies to me. And there was like a Bob's Burger episode that talked about bronies too. But here's the thing: men that liked My Little Pony, they didn't go in and try to paint 5 o'clock shadows on My Little Ponies and put cigarettes on them or tattoos or what. Like they didn't go in and try to change it.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, you're gonna do that with Rainbow Bright.
My girthy stallion. Yeah.
My girthy stallion.
That's what it's called. My girthy stallion. And
it's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah. No, they didn't. You're right. It was, these guys just went in there and enjoyed it for what it was. And I always say that, like, girls, there have been female fans in comics. They didn't want to change anything. It was just it was a boys' space, and they happened to enjoy a boys' hobby, just like these boys enjoy these sissies enjoy, girls.
And can I add, when girls back then were into comics, like, weren't they so much more rad? Like they were special. There was something special about them, when girls were into it back then. It's like, oh, she's in the she knows who Optimus Prime is. Like that's, and now it's just like,
yeah. Now you're like, oh, you're faking it. Like the idea of a fake geek girl. It's like,
oh yeah, everywhere.
Political, and I don't know. It's weird. What is this, Cecil?
This is him, like in the middle of an answer, just going, "Oh, there's my wife."
Oh yeah, is it a clip? All right, go ahead.
It's 24 seconds.
me see.
Oh, bastard. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
you know the thing, man.
Yeah, it wasn't the thing that he was talking about God. Like he was about to say the truth. What was it? What was the phrase?
He's like,
we hold these truths to be self-evident, but he lost it. He goes, we hold these truths to, you know, the thing.
You know the thing, man.
I worry about him. 10 years ago he was sharp. I hated Joe Biden when he was I guess it was like 8 years ago. He was debating Paul Ryan in the vice presidential debate. And Paul Ryan was somebody who didn't have much of a sense of humor about himself. He was just kind of a nerdy young guy. He was Robin to Mitt Romney's Batman. And Joe Biden decided the way that he was going to win the debate was just to laugh at him through the entire thing. I fucking hated it so much, dude. I hated Joe Biden after that debate. He's not like that. And I don't think he could do that anymore. Let me see.
There is not a single solitary reason in the world why, as I said, we shouldn't be in a position that everybody, and that's my wife, Jill. Hey, Jill, I'm Jill's husband, actually. But I guess I should cut to the chase here. We're
Get to the chase, Joe. Oh man, there's no way. If somehow they did some type of trickery with the mailing, posting, like sending in the ballots, and he won, it like Harris would take over, because there's no way he could do it. He can't even finish a sentence.
I think it doesn't matter. Like if Kamala Harris did take over, it wouldn't matter. It
would be the same thing.
Yeah, he would have very little to do with the day-to-day.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be the figurehead, he'd be the face. They got him in there because they really just don't have anyone else right now. And the Democrat Party should be working on finding some stars in their youth.
They have some people. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard is pretty decent. The gal from Hawaii that served in the military, like I liked her a lot. Like I'm a Democrat. Like I voted for her in the primaries in Florida. I mean, I voted for Trump last year, but I'm still a Democrat.
Yeah, but there's some history with her and Hillary. Like Hillary doesn't like her. Like, there's some history, bad blood there. So I don't know how far the Clinton reach still goes.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, the DNC is just. It's basically owned by the Clintons. Like they run everything.
Twitter Trash says, I sent you 2 more. No more. The Joe Biden show. It's like, no, I wanted that one clip would have been funny if it were Trump. It was just those 2 clips of the birds and the artifacts were funny to me.
Him when he just did that. Oh, there's my wife. It reminded me of my grandmother. She was in her 90s and she was, she had a nurse. She was on her way out, and she had this one nurse would come. And she had a couple nurses that would come, but there was one with a really short hair. She was actually really cute, but she had short hair. And every time she came, she goes, "Oh, the boy's here for me." And she goes, "Did you meet the boy?" And then it would be this nurse with short hair, and it was the same thing every time she came. She goes, "Oh, good. I like this boy."
Oh,
Cecil, I'm gonna be honest. When you said she was actually really cute, when she paused that story to elaborate on that, it made me wonder, how did that end with you and her?
What you think we had sex on top of my
I'm just saying that. Just saying that's where my brain went.
I mean, that's what happened, but
wait, what am I missing here? What happened?
Cecil's grandmother is a voyeur.
I got it. Okay. Cecil did not have sex with his own grandma. I don't think that's
no.
Is Shane able to open portals with his mug? Says Zero Depressive.
Maybe.
It's
actually a Jabba the Hutt. It's a Jabba the Hutt mug.
Oh, how about that?
Cool. I was going to draw like a little Princess Leia here on his belly. Take a Sharpie. Yeah.
Pelosi is Skeletor, so Snarkticon DM. Biden is Hordak. Harris is Evelyn. Trump is He-Man. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, but Pelosi is Skeletor. That whole thing with The weirdest stuff is catching on and being a problem. And this is how you know it's election season. Like Pelosi going with her mask off to get her hair done is a big problem. Only because she, is blatantly dishonest. It's very much classist. The Trump thing, like Trump calling World War I veterans losers. How does anybody believe that?
Yeah.
Those World War I veterans are fucking losers. World War I?
Of course.
It's just that's so transparently not true. It couldn't possibly be true. It's like they caricature him. These people believe their own fake news, and it's like, well, it sounds like something he'd say. Yes, to you, you're right. Zero Depressive says, "My bad, Shane. You close portals with it."
Linkovich said, "Knowing Cecil was attracted to the boy is what killed his grandmother."
Shane is sneeze farting. I can hear it even though he muted himself. I don't think that's true.
I was pouring. I was pouring to meet him on mic.
Giving Shane a hard time. I'm not going to bang you, Shane, says Jabba the coach.
He's nagging you.
Stop drinking out of our Jabba, says Bob with one eye is king. Said he called World War I vets losers in 2018. They really sat on it for 2 years. They plastered all over the news the next day. Yeah. I just don't even think, I got to be honest with you, I don't even think Trump knows there was a World War I. I just don't.
Yeah, there was a World War I, and we won it.
Yes. They're not losers. How can they be losers? You just don't think of Trump looking back on history and like issuing a judgment, like a moral judgment on history very much. I can't picture that. Yeah.
Here's a real question I have about Biden, though, that I keep forgetting to Google. Like, I know they have to do a physical on the president, but do they have to do a physical on the president, people running for president? Like, I mean, do they go through a type of physical vetting? Because I don't think the guy's mentally all there, plus physically, like he just the expert. It's like old milk, like like he just doesn't look like I would put him up front.
You don't need it. Anybody could look at this guy and be like, he's not fully functioning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like remember the shape that Hillary was in on September 11th when she went for that speech, and then they caught her jumping into that van where she was like collapsing.
She left her shoes on.
Yeah.
That's around the same exact time that we are right now. And notice they're keeping Biden at home. You know what I'm saying? Like they're keeping him away from people. They don't want him getting exhausted. They don't want any type of situation where he falls down, breaks a hip, or says something crazy. Because I mean, he says the most weirdest things, entertaining. But weird.
Man, Todd McFarlane is doing the DC toys right now. This is a dream come true. DC Comics wanted, Todd McFarlane to draw comics for them. And Todd said, I won't do it unless you let me make the toys. And that was a sticking point. DC was like, no, DC Direct will make the toys. No, we're not going to do it. But now because DC Direct is closed down, I'm just looking. Every time I look at Bleeding Cool, Todd McFarlane doing something new. Amazing. He's doing a Flash toy. There's a moth in here. I almost want this.
Yeah. His Batman design is pretty juicy.
There's actually some good attachments for that Flash, some like Speed Force stuff coming off of him on the standard figure. I don't know about that. Ethan, I've had this argument with Patrick. Do you think Todd's ever going to draw a book for the big two ever again?
No. Set it up how we were arguing about it. Like I was saying about his design for Batman. Like I could see him doing Batman, but on his own terms.
Here's the thing. Todd said before, though, he cannot sell his own brand if he gives people the option to buy Todd McFarlane Spider-Man or Todd McFarlane Batman.
But I'm saying like a tie in with the toy.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Like that design that he did for the Batman. If they gave an opportunity that they would do a comic using that suit and he got to draw it, you know what I'm saying, and use that as an advertisement for the toy.
I don't see it.
What do you say?
No, I gotta say there's no money in it. There's no money in making comics. The money is in everything else except for comics. So, people go, would Todd do Batman? No, not unless he could.
Well, I guess my suggestion is like he's doing it as an advertisement for the toy.
It's a lot of work for not a lot of money. I mean, at this point, if you're doing comics, you're doing them for two reasons. I'm doing comics because I love Cyberfrog, and I got a story to tell. Whatever comes of that is going to be great. But I'm not doing it to get a video game or a TV show. Or if nothing happens, that's fine. I want the story out there. Other people are doing comic books for Netflix deals. Everything is a lottery. They're trying to get something done. Like Greg Rucka, we were just reading about him and his kid setting fire to New York City.
I came across the epiphany on that maybe his son's a deadbeat living at home, right? I'm not saying anything against that, but he's like 20. He's just mooching off his dad. And his dad's like, you got to get out there and get my name on the street because I need another Netflix deal. And that's what I came up with, is that he's like, you got to earn your keep. Get some cuffs slapped on you. Make sure you tell the officer slapping the cuffs on you that Greg Rucka is your dad. Make sure the guy fingerprinting you knows Greg Rucka is your dad. And make sure when they say, who the fuck's Greg Rucka, you tell them, oh, he writes award-winning comics.
He does a book called Stump. What is Stumptown? Is it about amputees? Like, what is it about? I don't even know what Stumptown is, but he's got a TV show.
You said amputees.
Let's see. I'm trying to find anything other than SJW.
Like I was always curious of like that person that wrote that article about Greg Rucka's son. If he had some type of like alternative motive. Like I didn't get the chance to look to see what other things he wrote, but I thought it was a weird thing for was it the New York Times that
New York Post.
New York Post. Yeah, I wanted to go and see what else that Arthur wrote, because I was kind of curious if there was a trend or maybe they were involved with someone. I don't know, because it seemed random. Like Shane and I were talking about it last night. I thought it was very random.
Yeah, super chat. Oh,
well, he must.
Let's see. Cato the Younger says, "I'm new to Comicsgate. Should I not back the Breitweisers?" That's not what this video said at all. Not at all. I want to make that clear. I'm looking at, by the way, I'm doing a Google search on Greg Rucka right now, and you would think that this would be a big deal, but it really isn't. Like, not too many. Like, are you telling me there's no Bleeding Cool article about this? Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, Greg Rucka's kid cost the city of New York $100,000 in damages, and there's nothing here. The New York Post wrote an article. DC Universe, if you look up Greg Rucka the past week, they write about binging Greg Rucka's Wonder Woman. There's my video, SJW Comics Chaos, Wonder Woman writer Greg Rucka's son arrested in Black Lives Matter rampage. This was I think mine was the final word on this whole situation. I think that once people saw my video, maybe they felt like they didn't need to say anything else. My video summed it all up here pretty quickly. Like, what the fuck is this? Beat Hunter's because I thought it was Hunter that, like everything's about me. So I thought it was Hunter, though, but. If you're enjoying this content, hit that subscribe button. Join us.
I like how you gave him $200 for being a good kid.
Yeah, of course. Is Ethan Van Sciver, 27-year veteran of the comic book industry, world's most charming, elegant, eloquent, humble, and patient man and father of a 21-year-old son. Great big Star Wars fan, trusted member of the media, Hunter. You in New York City marching with Black Lives Matter without my... No. This isn't you?
No, I was here all day.
What a great kid you are. What a great kid. I knew it. Proud. That's all it is right there. That's parenting 101. Where were you? Were you where you shouldn't be? Rampaging in New York City with Black Lives Matter with a radical leftist mob? No. Here's $200. Thank you. You're a good kid.
It's the stick or the carrot. It's the stick or the carrot, Ethan.
You got to do it. You got to watch where your kids are. And I tell you, you know, it's like I will say that the people, most of the guys who are out there, guys in quotes, who are out there marching with these radicals, these Antifas, something's up with Dad. Sorry, Greg, something's up. I don't know what's going on that made you think that your kid should do that. You know, that's absolutely ridiculous. If my son did something like that, I would whip that kid.
I mean, he's 20 years old. His dad lives in Portland. I'm sure he lives with his dad.
You think his dad's proud? I mean, his dad probably is like, yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Well, I mean, here's the point I'm trying to make. Like, I doubt this kid has a job that he just quit his job to go protest in New York. I'm sure he was like has his dad's like debit card or credit card and went across country. Like his dad knows what he was doing.
How much money does Greg Rucka have? He lives in Portland, Oregon. I don't think he's got any money.
No, he sold a couple of things. That there was a movie from that girl from that vampire movie. The Whiteout was the name of the book. He sold the girl from the Werewolves versus Kate Beckinsale. She was in. He's sold a couple of things. He's a bit of an asshole though. Like I worked with him once. I worked with him once, and he described a girl I was supposed to draw like an Amazonian doctor. He wanted her to look 18. Instead of saying, Shane, draw this girl to look 18, he said, draw her to look like she's just of age, capital just, you know? And I thought that, I was like, dude, you're fucking creepy.
That's creepy. Yeah.
That is creepy. Yeah.
When he says of age, what does he mean by of age?
Depends on which state, I guess. I don't know.
So old enough to penetrate.
Yes.
Legally.
I assume. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gross.
Barely legal. Yeah. Here's an image of Greg Rucka protesting himself, right? Cecil. Oh, that's not Greg Rucka.
Classic.
Why is the ass in the front? Like, does anybody else see that?
It's like an action figure that you turn
around. You twist it around, right? Yeah.
More interested. This part of the leg that's dripping out.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I look forward every year to drawing under Panta Claus. I didn't do it last year, but I might do it this year just because Santa is naked and fat, you know, and I like to look at fat people and then draw. I don't look in the mirror, Cecil. I know you're thinking.
Ethan, on Facebook, I'm talking years ago, maybe 2015, you used to always draw like around Christmas, like a naked Santa, and it would say, I'm coming down your chimney. You remember that? You never did anything with that. That was funny.
Yeah, well, that's what I was just talking about. Yeah, under Panta Claus. It's Santa Claus in tighty whities. I collected them. I did one almost every single year to the revulsion and horror of almost everybody on my, on my page. I should be releasing those in a book or something.
I think there's something to it. I don't know.
You think so? I mean,
I got a question about that picture, if you don't mind showing it again.
Okay, I don't mind. Hold on one second here. I certainly don't mind, Cecil.
Where do you get shorts this big?
Oh, that's a good question.
No, I mean, where do you get shorts this big?
I was.
Oh, yeah. He's the guy who's where. What's
yeah, that is a great question. I find them. Don't you worry about it. Yeah, I got it. Under Panta Claus would be cool. Other people were inspired to draw under Panta Claus. Shane, I don't know if you ever did.
No, not yet. I haven't mustered the courage. I don't want to ruin the Festival of Lights for everyone.
I think it helps people in a way. There's something about tradition. People can count on something every single year. They begin to rely on it, and they like it. If you can count on Shane Davis drawing a picture of Santa Claus naked every year in November, right before we flip to December, people count on it and it becomes part of their holiday cheer.
Your super chat's got a good point. That would be like a really cool Christmas card that CG gets, or if your members sign up, that they get that as a Christmas card.
Can you send your members an under Panta Claus Christmas card to Snarkcon DM?
You only got to do it once a year. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, as little effort as I can put into anything.
Well, you already got some backlogged. You just got to get them colored and put up.
Well, you're Dutch. Why don't you do that Pete fella? You change it up.
Because that's not my tradition. I don't know who that Pete fellow is. I would do Santa Claus. I would do, wouldn't I? I mean, I would do under Panta Claus. I did a video about it once. And I mean, there's nothing. Look, all right, hold on a second here. This is all tradition. Under Panta Claus. Let's find it.
I just remember them being revolting. Like it was always about coming down your chimney and shit. Like coming down your chimney.
Coming down your chimney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you did that. Don't.
I mean, okay, so. All right, so I would do this. This would be a Christmas tradition. This is a short video that Shane is referring to. Shane, if you do stuff like this, people do appreciate it. If you're building your channel, I tell you this, Patrick, Shane, people like traditional things. This is my neighborhood, by the way. So this is my video that I made.
Hi, welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I'm your host, Ethan Van Sciver. I have a holiday tradition. Every year, when the sky turns gray and they start salting the roads for snow, I sharpen my pencils and I draw Santa Claus for my fans in his underpants. And it's occurred to me that I haven't done this year's yet. But all signs are telling me, EVS, let's go. It's time to draw under Panta Claus 2017. So join me, won't you? Let's make this holiday bright.
This is my old intro. It's my old intro.
Let's hit it.
This is a look at my process, Shane.
I thought you were going to say prostate.
No. It's a look at Santa's prostate.
He's a jolly man.
Yeah. Had Cecil come over and sing. Got drunk.
You also had me pose.
Yeah.
Ethan, you're as bad as the corporate stores. Like it's not even Halloween, and you're talking about Christmas.
Well, I mean, make plans.
I was disappointed when you didn't do one last year. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Who sang this?
What?
Who's the singer on it?
You. You don't remember that?
Well, next year I'll do the same. I'll do the Do They Know It's Christmas Time while you draw. The Christmas classic.
I mean, this is if kids saw Santa Claus in this way, I think they'd have a new appreciation for me. Look at the spots I put all over him. Liver spots and skin tags. Yeah. Shane's always been like, Ethan, I want to watch you draw. How do you draw? This is how.
That's fun. I like how you had to draw the little Y flap there, so something can come out at you. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, can you imagine using that? Like, rather than pull your underpants down, you finagle that to pee? Who invented those? Stupid. Here's Herbie the gay elf.
Oh, he's a dentist.
Yeah, the dentist.
No, he's a homosexual. And Santa's gonna come. He's bringing that taint right down on Herbie. Yeah, Herbie's panicked. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas. So this is
Signed and done.
Oh, that's
Thank
fun.
you so much for joining me here at Comic Artist Pro Secrets. You know, Christmas only comes once a year, but my videos come much more frequently.
How do you like that? I mean, that's.
So did you find that doing like the art type of videos like weren't fruitful for the channel?
Well, I mean, how many people watch that? 2,000 to 25 views. Of course not. Nobody watched that. You know, those people go, oh, go back to drawing. I liked it when you drew. Oh, did you? So you're one of the 12 people who watched my videos when I worked all day on them and posted them, and it's like absolutely nothing. You know, no views. And people like to hear me yelling about stuff. What would you? I mean, here's the thing: people want to take that. People want to take your YouTube show, and they want to hear you talk on your way to on their way to work. I mean, they want to listen to you complain, tell them the news. That's the truth, you know.
Yeah.
People try to misdirect you and say, no, we want more art videos. They don't want art videos.
I mean, if I was driving to work and I looked down and saw you draw that underwear Y flap, I'd just plow into traffic. I'd just plow into pedestrians. Like, you don't want to do that to people.
I think you're right. Jughead Grayson points out, you know, Ethan used to be funny.
So do Mrs. Claus this year.
Mrs. Claus in her underwear?
Yeah, do it like the woman I just showed you.
See, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Ew. How would you even draw that front area?
I would just have belly over it. I mean, it would be belly and then knees.
It wouldn't be tucked into a giant pair of panties.
I don't think so.
But also like parts of it dripping out the leg hole.
Oh man, I always see that shit in Florida. Like going to the beach, you see like these old ladies wearing these like onesies, like the bathing suits, and their bellies pull out so far. There's like a little bit of like opening. You'll catch it in the corner of your eye. You're like, ah, you're like, no.
Yeah, jackpot, right?
Butch pot.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll do that this year. I don't know. You know, if people will watch my videos when I draw naked fat people, if people watch that, you know, I'll do more of it. You know, that's the thing. You do more of what people want.
No, you got to do like Marvel and you tell them what they need to be interested in and you push it. Fat acceptance. I'm behind you, buddy.
It's called putting a wagon before the horse.
Fat acceptance, huh? Okay, yeah, that should be my new body positivity on the channel.
Yeah,
that sounds like a national holiday. Fat acceptance.
Body positivity versus COVID positivity.
It's the time of the year, you know. It's that, you know, it's that 3-punch combo of Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas.
That's a hard one. I mean, yeah, at the end of the year, I you know, you've got to just be disciplined. You got to go no Halloween candy. No. You got to not do that. You got to go, I'm going to take it easy this year at Thanksgiving. Then you got to go Christmas. No. I mean, Christmas is just for an entire month, gorging yourself on just shit.
Well, you have to, because it's going to be cold in January and February and you hibernate.
That's why you eat all that, because you're trying to gain fat layers to survive the winter that's coming.
Yeah.
But we don't need that anymore. Like, we're not sleeping outdoors like we used to in the 1990s.
Well, what is the power goes out? Your whole family could crowd around you like a furnace. You're the hero then.
Yeah,
the hero.
Just cut you open like a tauntaun.
I want to be the hero.
They say
girl to say, I heard you're good at centipede.
Oh,
they say the obese survived the Mayflower.
Is that true?
That's what they say.
Well, that explains my people, because we came over on the Mayflower, advanced divers, you know, and we've been here for many centuries. In New Jersey, we're too stupid to leave Jersey. You know,
What if only the fat survived 2020?
I'm prepared for that eventuality. It's going to be me versus Dan Slott, Gail Simone, and what's his name? Scott Hurts. You know, sumo wrestling. I can take all three of them.
What is Gail Simone up to these days? I don't.
350.
350.
I don't know. I don't know what she's up to. I don't look. I try to avoid all of those people. I don't want to know. I don't know. I don't want to know what they're doing. You know, every now and then I'll see something on Bleeding Cool, and I'll look at it and I'll go, "Oh, Marvel Boy is making out with Hercules, huh?" Oh, oh, how I miss mainstream. You don't get to work in mainstream comics anymore, Ethan. I don't get to draw that. I don't get to draw Hercules, fucking Marvel Boy, in the middle of a fight.
You know what's weird is I don't.
Well, yes.
Do you have an Ollie's in New Jersey?
A what?
An Ollie's. It's kind of like an outlet store.
Ollie's?
Every now and yeah,
Ollie's.
Ollie's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ollie's.
Yeah.
I went in the other day and they had some trades, and it was weird. They had the Marvel Boy trade, the Marvel Knights J.G. Jones trade, which is actually well done. Grant Morrison. It's just a cool offbeat story. I was like, why in the fuck is this in print? And then all of a sudden, like, I guess like they're making out, and I'm like, oh, okay. So they totally put this back in print just so he's relevant, so people understand who somebody's kissing. I don't know.
Yeah, Marvel Boy again. That was you know, that was part of my legacy, because that is Joe Quesada, who came to me and said in 1997 and said, you know, I've got this thing called Marvel Knights. I want you to be a part of it. You know, you're an East Coast guy. What do you want to do over here? And you know, he said, what we need you to do is create a junior version of one of Marvel's classic characters. So, you know, Silver Snowboarder. He said Daredevil Jr., Spidey. Something like that, he said. And I said, well, let me think about it. And that's when I created X32, you know, sex backwards in the mirror. And, you know, she was called Lynx. And they loved that. They took that somewhere else. But, you know, the junior version of the character they ended up using was Marvel Boy. And they had J.G. Jones write it. I can't remember who drew or draw it. Who wrote it? Like Grant Morrison wrote it? Something like that?
Grant Morrison. Yeah, it was Grant Morrison.
Yeah, so.
It's a weird book because it had nothing to do with the Marvel Universe at all. It was just a crazy, weird book. Like, I think S.H.I.E.L.D. was in it, and that was it. There was no Spider-Man, no Daredevil, no nothing. It was totally like a throwaway hit.
Yeah. Remember the Rawhide Kid?
Yeah, I like that book. Actually, I sent it to 7 of 9.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I mean, this is back. There was gay representation, you know, in at Marvel, you know, back then. I mean, there was. It was just making fun of gays during the Joe Quesada period, and I remember this vividly. I remember they had Ron Zimmerman from the Howard Stern Show. He was over there writing a lot of comics, and they were all offensive. You know, Marvel was getting in trouble for them. He took the Rawhide Kid. Look at that.
I didn't think it was offensive. I thought it was pretty funny.
The book was called Slap Leather, Cecil. It was.
I know.
Fun of
I have it.
I love that.
It's really funny. I'm not kidding.
Slap Leather. Yeah. So this is you know, obviously the pistol downward. They bragged about this. They were like, oh yeah, we have, you know, it's. So Ron Zimmerman from the Howard Stern Show, and I think he was also on something else. I can't remember what it was. He was on a TV show. No, he wrote a show with Jay Moore in the 90s that everyone loved, where Jay Moore was a producer, and he'd drive around Hollywood yelling at people. What was it? Action? I think it was called Action.
Wow, I feel like I'm on another planet. I never heard of that.
You never heard of that show? Oh, it was really like in the 90s. It was great because there weren't a lot of shows like this. It was Jay Moore just being rude to people in Hollywood and calling people stupid. and it was Ron Zimmerman wrote it, but they brought him over to all this stuff anyway.
The Rawhide Kid always reminded me of that Zorro movie in like '83 where he was like gay or his gay brother showed up. It was called Zorro and the Gay Blade, or it was something. It was like his twin brother showed up and he was gay, and he wore like a purple suit and then he wore like a yellow suit. Yeah, it's called Zorro the Gay Blade.
Yeah, it was Hamilton, George Hamilton.
Yeah. But it's like that comic always reminded me of that. Like when I saw that comic book, I thought they kind of got the idea from the Gay Blade. It's a great movie.
It's possible. I think they were just being funny. Just being silly. It's like there's this. You got. Oh, hold on. Let me blow this up here. I mean, this is that's the cover of the comic book.
Yeah.
We should. This is funny. Like, do it like this.
It's pretty funny because the other characters in the book don't know. They're like, there's something off about that kid. They're running. And at one point, he runs into the three brothers from Bonanza, and he's like trying to get them back into their room, into their hotel room. It's really funny.
He runs into the brothers from Bonanza.
Yeah,
I gotta read this book, man. It sounds pretty funny.
Wasn't there something like there was a Shield Max book around the same time, or Nick Fury book, and Nick Fury said something that pissed George Clooney off, and he's like, "I'm not gonna be Nick Fury." Like that was the same time as this. Like they were doing like a lot of racy stuff with that Max line.
Yeah,
I can't remember. Yeah,
well, there was a lot of weird stuff that was coming out of there because it was Joe Quesada's friends. Joe Quesada's friends were in 1997 to 2002. These guys were not SJWs. They had not yet been infected by social justice. They thought this shit was funny, and they weren't trying to. I mean, if you asked them, I think back then they would have been like, yes, yeah, sure, gay representation, absolutely. But the truth of the matter is, I think they just thought this shit was funny, and Ron Zimmerman did. So that was the.
Well, they were doing something also. I think Zach talked about the other day, but nobody remembers this. But it was like an Aunt May book, but she was 20, and I think she's the mother of Peter Parker or something like that.
Oh,
if you guys,
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they were doing like a lot of weird stuff. It was like a shotgun blast at publishing, like what could get on people's lips talking like, "Hey, we're doing this. It's so edgy. It's so whatever."
Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy Rawhide Kid Slap Leather. It is funny.
Well, let me look around. I think I have another copy of it. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, thanks, pal.
Is that your bathroom copy, Cecil?
No.
J. Scott Campbell did a cover for it. I didn't know that.
You
get to see how you get to see how comic book creators who are now kind of social justice-y would have drawn gay characters in the year 2000, when they weren't sitting there trying to impress anyone. Wait a second, that's not it. Let me see what this is. We saw that already. Look at this. Slap Leather, so that's where it came from. You got these two guys. This is an old, Kid Colt guest starring the Rawhide Kid. Slap Leather. Yeah, what's this? There it is. This is J. Scott Campbell's. I don't see any reference to gayness here, but it is a silly guy. Look at this face on him.
Yeah, that horse just is muscular and erect, standing up. That's all.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know.
Just a tip of the hat.
Yeah.
It's just a tip.
All right, what do we got here, Patrick? Let me see.
So this is a shot from Zorro the Gay Blade. Like, if you like the Rawhide Kid, you need to check this movie out because it's hilarious. It's like he like refuses to wear black because he thinks it's kind of like kind of like trashy. So like like every costume, like you see him, he's in a different costume. He has like a red one, a purple one, a gold one, and instead of having a sword, he has like a whip.
I mean, it's not like me. You know.
But yeah, I would check it out, especially if you like that. If you like the idea of, and it's funny because the main antagonist of the movie, well, you just gotta check it out. Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's a good '80s movie, and it's funny as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ethan, that's a great costume for you. You know, jot that down.
I got some more coming. Yeah, I do have some more stuff on its way. I ordered a green band leader suit, with the tall hat. I would like to wear that.
Do you ever wear the same outfit twice?
I can't. It's not funny anymore. It's only funny once.
That last one is kind of like,
that was expensive.
You should wear it for like at least like a week or something.
Nah, just every now and then on a special occasion. That was iconic. That last suit was iconic.
That was great.
Yeah.
I mean, I got my rack of costumes over there, and I'm prepared.
You're gonna say lamb.
I'm prepared. I'm prepared for almost any eventuality. But I got some more stuff, and I do order strange clothes whenever I can. Have stuff handmade. That feather jacket is tremendous. Let me go get it. So you couldn't really even see it, but it really is nice. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that jacket's like infamous now. I mean, like that's like an iconic image, like the feathered singer, like looking kind of like a Jewish priest.
Yeah, it's kind of what's his name, Rob Halford.
Yeah, it's like very Rob Halford looking, feathered. There you go. There's a cat.
There's a starlight.
Yeah, that was the cat. He just flew past the camera.
Was that salty balls?
No, Caramel. Come here.
Caramel.
Come here. Like he was wanting to walk on the keyboard. That's his thing, is to walk on the keyboard. Look at that.
I mean, it's real feathers. It's green and black like crow feathers here, right? I mean, this is a really nicely put together article of clothing. Here it is in the back. Look at that. Like cats would chase me down the street if I were wearing that. But it's you order this, you have it handmade. You say, would this is something that like Donny Osmond would wear, on one of his shows. He'd be dancing around with Marie.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't see him wear it again.
No, you got to bring it back out. It's iconic. People liked it a lot. I disagree. I think it's got to come back. I mean, you can do what you want. I mean, but it's pretty iconic.
Yeah.
People called it the M. Bison. That's the bad guy from Street Fighter.
Oh, that's right. That M. Bison.
Yeah, they already named it.
It wasn't meant to be that. My idea was Hitlerace. I wanted to be a cross between Hitler and Liberace, and that's what I told the girl. And that's what she came up with,
Oh, that was a custom?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, you're losing how much did you pay for that?
Don't say.
Every penny. I would never say, of course not. And I could pay. You know what? Here's the thing. I could always give it to a poor person.
Why would you wish that fate on a hobo?
You ever watch the Liberace like specials on YouTube? They're like, it's the intro is like just him putting on these costumes, and then he comes on and talks about every article of clothing he's wearing.
I love that. Liberace's funny. I mean, look, the idea of clothing being shocking is funny to me. I can't help it. Like you put on we're all just wearing t-shirts,
Yeah. No, if people are scrolling through YouTube and your thumbnail comes up and you got your hands up like this and you look like the bird with the Nazi hat, people are gonna click on that.
Let me go get that hat. I'll show you the hat too.
You guys remember the whole 80s gag, the guy in the trench coat flashing ladies? Like, was that really a thing, or was that just a movie thing?
In fucking New York? Fuck yeah, man.
That was a thing in New York, really? There was like an epidemic of guys in trench coats with nothing below.
Flashers are I don't know. They've been in New York forever.
Yeah, I think this has been for a long time, Shane.
It's the advent of like the iPhone has really like
ruined flashers.
Ruined. I don't know what those guys are doing. Everybody just puts out their camera. You know, back in the day, you used to just, you know, before, when was that, 2006 when those things came? Before that, you know, a dude taking out his dick on the subway was just like
that makes perfect sense, Cecil. You couldn't text a dick, but you had to just flash a lady on the subway. I get it. It makes complete sense now.
It's because they get caught really quick. Like the post immediately, everybody sends the pictures to the newspapers and websites, and then the guy's face is beautiful. They're preening.
So you've got this is okay. So first of all, we've got more feathers here. We got a custom lapel with more black feathers on it. You know,
how many birds do you think died for that?
I hope all of them. This hat is something else. It was measured. My hat. Wow, it's actually got Soviet lettering on the inside here. It's Russian. But it also lights up. I didn't actually do this.
Oh man!
Well, don't ruin it. Wait it for its second coming out. Like, save the lights for when it comes out again.
Well, I told you I'm not going to wear this again.
Can you wear it?
Oh my god!
Can you wear it to Orlando?
See the lights in it. So you know,
this might be for the Fans Fest.
Did you hear John Malin's trying to crowdfund Riley Reid gangbang for the Fans Fest? Anybody see that?
Is that true?
He's trying to put it together. I don't know where the fuck he comes up with this shit.
Oh, because you posted pictures of yourself hanging out with Riley Reid at a porno convention.
That was a comic convention. That was not a porno convention. That was San Diego Comic-Con. That was not.
Was it San Diego Comic-Con? They were walking around?
Yeah.
Did you recognize them, or did they have a booth?
Well, that was the horrible part. Is she got my attention, and I looked up, and I'm like, "Will you knock it off?" And then she's like, "I know you," and she's like, "You do," and then everybody knew I jerked off to Riley Reid.
I gotta say, I don't know very many porno stars, but I know of Riley Reid.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Few others.
She might be in the Fans Fest. We don't know. According to John Malin, it's a good idea. It's not me. But
I don't know how young you're gonna feel about that.
Nah, she called her a ladies' boy. That's how she feels about it.
Jenna Jameson would comment. We get Jenna Jameson to come to, because I mean she's already a Trump supporting conservative. You
got to bring the 90s.
She's married and lives in Hawaii.
Ethan, like what we should do at FanFest is kind of what to do, like the Hard Rock. We'll put your costumes in like these glass cases, and people can just kind of look at them and display.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You know, all the stupid costumes that I wore certain points in time. Yeah, we'll get them all. I mean, I've got more coming, guys. You know, I did. Andrea sees stuff coming, like boxes. She's like, "What the fuck? What are you doing?" Just order more gay clothes, honey. Hold on a second here. My dream is to get a big light up Liberace cape. I have something close to it, but it's not what I want, really. You know, because Liberace, like, you know, he had a lot of white fur lights.
He had that fur that was like, the one I watched on YouTube is him coming out of like a diamond crusted Rolls Royce comes on stage. He comes out and it's like a 30-foot pure white mink dragging behind him with like buttons on it that are diamonds the size of doorknobs.
That's amazing.
And he walks out to the front of the stage and goes, first thing he says to her and says, "Too much?" Like women didn't know he was gay.
Yeah,
I love that. It's like, what the fuck was going on in the 70s where like people were like, "He's gay." What?
Yeah, he's gay. What?
It must have been a weird time where you're just like, oh, they're exotic. They just like clothes, you know, like they're not, you know, like Ethan. Anyways, that's looking pretty good there. Is that a new thing or is that an old thing?
I've worn it before, you know.
I haven't seen this.
Yeah, this is a long, you know, it's a robe. So
It's got kind of like a Ric Flair Santa Claus thing going on. I like it.
Yeah, I'll probably wear it for Christmas.
It's like a boxing robe almost.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind
You
of.
look like Rocky Beluga.
Yeah, it's definitely Butch. It's definitely.
Is that the same gal who made the feathers?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have like a little designer.
I got a few of them. Yeah.
Oh man.
I kind of explain what I want, and I get it made. Now this the hood lights up. It's got a whole thing in the pocket here.
What was that?
That was me brushing the microphone. But it's got a light up gear here. You just hook a battery to it, and the hood puts on a light show.
Car battery.
Yeah. You stuff that in your pocket there. What do you think, Cecil?
Nice.
Thanks.
A little understated, but maybe for the holidays.
Yeah, sometimes I wear this stuff when I get out to get the mail,
So at Fans Fest, are you going to come down from the ceiling? Are you going to be like lured down into the crowd?
The male prostitute.
My funeral. I want to, I want to do that. I would like to come down, lower my body into the coffin, like glitter, like in sequins.
Just here's this ad I was looking at today. The time period when people didn't figure out Liberace was gay was when men were wearing this.
Is that guy's head? Is he really the model? Or
yes, this is a real ad.
It kind of looks like Geraldo.
I was gonna say he looks like Geraldo, but if he's not Geraldo, we've seen dudes who look like that.
This might be from England. I'm not sure because they're called double knit fancies. No, that's American. No, it's $1. It's American.
They're fancy pants.
His head doesn't fit the body. I don't know. That might be pasted on.
I would wear those pants though. I gotta say I'm envious of those double knit fancies.
The shoes are kind of making it though. It's not just the pants. You got to have those shoes.
Nobody looked good. Nobody. That's what I was asking. I put this in one of our chats. I was just like, how did people get laid? What woman looked at this and said, yes, get inside me?
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous, Ridiculous.
There was some movie where somebody in the heels of the shoes like that, they had goldfish in it. I can't remember what movie that was.
Oh, that's Damon Wayne's movie. What's it called?
Shit.
It's like a 70s pet movie.
Yeah.
It's a spoof.
Yeah. Shit. Fuck it. All right.
I can look it up because that's gonna kill me right now.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
It maybe.
Yeah, I think it's that. I'm gonna get you, sucker.
EVS. I like how this stream started out so serious and depressed, and look at you now.
You don't think this is a symptom of that? I mean, like, what do you?
It's like when you get really scared and then you start laughing afterwards.
Ethan's like, you think this isn't a coping mechanism?
Fucking cry for help.
Double knit panties. Thank you.
It's like, look at what they drive me to.
This would look good with my Santa Claus suit, though. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm looking at this now. Christmas is coming. I can wear my
Yeah.
I can wear
Go ahead.
Golden Santa Claus. I like it.
Yeah, I wear this over the Santa Claus suit. Walk into the mall. I got in trouble. I still remember. I initially thought I was doing a good thing by wearing a Santa Claus suit to the mall.
No, did you really?
Yeah, I was not doing a good thing. They told me that. They threw me out of the mall. I waited in line in my Santa Claus suit, and I look like Santa Claus. But I waited in line in my Santa Claus suit to get a picture with Santa Claus. And Hunter was there, humiliated my son. He might have been 10, And so I'm waiting in line to get a picture. And they said, Hunter's like, why are you doing this? I'm like, because Crisis of Infinite Santas. Like, if there's Santa is sitting on Santa's lap, it's going to be fucking weird. And the old lady who was running the thing just came to me. She said, "You're ruining Christmas for the children. They're all looking at you and they're wondering how you could be here and there at the same time."
The answer is always Christmas magic.
I said, "I'm going to get a picture." She said, "No, you're not." And mall security came and threw me out. I said, "Help, kids!" And the guy, when I said, "Help, kids," they're being mean to Santa.
Did you really say that? I'm the real Santa. He's an imposter.
It's like that scene where it's like, shoot him, not me, and they're arguing over who's gonna get shot. You know, like with the two.
Me harder when I did that. Like he grabbed my arm, he pulled me, he kicked me harder. I was like, help!
Help! You're hurting my arm.
Horrible. It's horrible. It's hard to explain that to your family. You know what happened. But yeah, it was fun being Santa, you know, for a little while.
They probably just didn't want you to shatter the dude's femurs.
Well, that's probably, yeah. Don't sit on Santa's lap. And then I'll still get that done at one point. And I'll see why I can't get a picture of me as Santa with Santa. It just wasn't going to happen that day. But this would look good. I think this would be a really good Santa Claus robe. I put this red Santa Claus suit underneath.
Yeah.
Thank you for your support, Cecil.
I'm all for it.
I'm for it.
Yeah, I like the idea of the gold Santa. I think it's something new. We haven't seen it before. It's a good twist. It's almost kind of like a Neil Diamond type of thing too. I like it.
Yeah,
I will get her on this. I'm going to get her to make me a gold lame Santa Claus costume. That's a fucking great idea. Gold lame Santa Claus costume.
It's like if Santa was in like a Puffy and Mace video.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be so cool, man. Thank you for the idea, Shane.
What idea? I didn't offer.
That was me.
What are you talking about? That was Patrick. Ethan, I'm going to be honest with everybody since we're all sharing. This whole time I've been like, it just occurred to me. No, I remember I was working in the Rockaway Mall at Christmas, and I remember getting drunk one night and waking up with, I slept with the lady that worked mall security. I had a one-night stand. Now, then I wondered what happened to her. This whole time, I don't know. Yeah, it was like she was like, I don't know how I ended up in that position.
Oh, was her name Lady Roulette? I'm always like, how did I end up in this position?
No, I just remember she kept talking about handcuffs. That's it. I just remember handcuffs came up, and I'm like, what type of
security guard? I mean.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, what type of situation? It was like one of those life moments where it's like, I gotta pull my shit together, man. I can't end up in the situation with strange women talking about handcuffs.
Oh, I'm going to put you on a naughty list.
I don't know. Talking about Christmas and malls, I don't know. I had flashbacks.
That's all changed. Anyway. There's not going to be too many malls anymore.
No.
Malls closed down. So there'll be fewer opportunities to fuck mall security.
Listen, we went to the mall the other day, and every store has a 40% off sign in its window. It's crazy. Plus, they make people line up outside the store, and I'm like, what good's that do? Now they're just close to each other outside. You're not keeping people apart. You're just pushing them together in a line. This Christmas is gonna be insane.
I'm just ordering everything from the internet. I'm not going to go shopping at all. Snarkcon DM points out that the mall security lady was Gail Simone. Terrible.
Hey now.
Terrible news.
Hey now.
All right. So in any case, let me look at the super chats here. I'm going to get back to work. I appreciate you guys coming and spending time hanging out with me here and making fun of me. And then let's see. Peter Armstrong says, I admire your fashion sense. Thank you, Peter. It's about time somebody appreciated what I do. Victor says EVS looks like G.G. Allen in the 90s rocker in that getup. Is he going to do a performance like him for the Fans Fest too? No.
No, but I will.
Snarkcon DM says, was Bird Ethan his final form? He says, but did Cecil send Eddie Winkler his books yet? You got to send Eddie Winkler his books. Can you send your members an under Fanta Claus Christmas card and all that stuff? Ryan Blue Thunder says, Swiggity Swoot, any news on Flash Rebirth Absolute? I guess they're doing it. I wouldn't know, and they're going to put out the DC just making money off of my work. Let's see. Tweeter Trash says, play the Trump with a laugh track clip. Zero Depressive says, my bad, Shane. You closed portals. Okay, hold on a second. I sent you two more. Cyberfrog Funko Pops says Vuru Kusaki 86. That's going to happen one day, I'm sure.
Santa, can you bring me a Choke Me Elmo?
Snarkcon DM says, if the opportunity presented itself, would you do a Cyberfrog Hot Toys sideshow figures? Yes. Kidding me? Of course I would. Would love that. Can a person make a successful comic using a minimalistic style of drawing? Example, drawing only enough to capture the essence of the figure and action, says Motor Troller. Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've got somebody named Narwhal who does drawing style like that. And Narwhal's very minimalist, Don't you think?
He has really good storytelling and good panel crops and everything. He's got good compositions.
Good energy.
It's 5 in the goddamn morning.
Gotta go.
I had no idea it was that time. I really didn't. I guess it would be. I started at 2:00. Thank you guys for being up with me. I am going to get to work myself and get some drawing done. Terrible, absolutely terrible. Patrick, I'm so sorry for keeping you up till 5 a.m.
No, I'm taking a break. I was drawing all night, so it was a nice little break.
I appreciate
I was listening to you, so it was fun to listen to you for 2 hours and let off some steam, and then it was fun to jump in.
Braden Dykstra points out that Narwhal is better than Nasser. I don't think anybody. I don't think that's a debate. Guy says, Uncle, time to get up. Uncle E is a showman. I like that comment. That's beautiful. Thank you, Godai. All right. Hail Teethan Vampire, says Adrian Stone. Yeah, I had that as my. You know how SJWs changed their names for Halloween? Teethan Vampire would be my changing from Ethan. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you again soon. Another video. I'll put up a video tomorrow making fun of Ray Fisher, who's a fucking idiot. His whole thing, like, oh, do you know what Jeff Johns did? Jeff Johns taunted me with the fact that he recast Cyborg. Good. You're an angel.
I heard they were cruel to him.
Thanks, everyone. See you tomorrow or today.